That's it from McDonald's Marine Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy. Built tough Aussie conditions with the latest technology when it comes to water heating and store room. The Dogs are out at the Coventry end. The Kangaroos not too far away. Brian Taylor has wandered into the box. We'll hear from him shortly. And the Two Man. But Nathan and Damo, we were talking about the call of Joey when he had his big moment. And a couple of his co-callers decided to talk over the top of him. I just want to play a little bit to you, and then we'll introduce Brian and get his view as the premier AFL caller in the country as how do you handle situations like this. Let's have a listen to what happened to poor old Joey last night.
He's got support, though. It's going to be Starcevic. Players are queuing up everywhere. Mitch Robinson gives it to Rich. 80 out. Can he find the mark? He can! Zachy Bailey's taken the mark. 45 out straight in front.
He's going to have a shot after the siren to win.
Daisy's boy.
And remember, he was robbed last week of that tackle to win the game, Joey.
The irony.
He was robbed last week.
The irony.
All right, I think we've heard enough Duck giving us the stunning summation that was going to be a kick after the siren. Brian, welcome to you. Now, you were there calling it brilliantly on the television last night. As a man that's experienced, Joey, not as experienced like myself, what do you do in that situation when your co-callers try and take over?
Look, it's disgusting. I'm not surprised, though. I'm just definitely not surprised. But in Darce's defence, he gave Joey, great call, mate. Well done. It was okay. He gave you 15 seconds to mention it, and you didn't mention the historical last week revisited opportunity. And he didn't go with it, so he felt that he had to contribute that part because he was fearing that Joey was overlooking a very important part of it. Joey?
That's probably...
the top advice I thought we were going to get here.
I think it's actually quite fair, BT. It hadn't registered at that moment because I was so caught up in the moment.
When was it going to register?
Well, probably in the next three. Just as Darth started to speak, I was about to say that, but he jumped in and beat me to it.
No, brilliant stuff. and like, you know, footballers, I was talking to Job and who else did I work with last night?
Hodgie?
Yeah.
Yep.
And neither of them had ever featured in junior footy or senior footy in an after the siren goal. Had never been involved in it. It's a rare thing that happens to a footballer, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't know if I was involved in one as a win.
Well, you would, Joey, be honest.
That's probably true. We're definitely involved in one as a loss. Justin Longmuir, the Fremantle coach, actually kicked the goal after the siren to beat St Kilda at Subiaco all those years ago. So I was involved in the wrong end of the stick, but I don't think we're involved in one to win. Rui had a shot to win a game one day, missed it and kicked that at a point. It was a draw, but that's about as close as I got.
Nate, where were you? Were you not... Sorry, Dana.
I was going to ask you, as the Premier caller...
No, please, I'm just a caller.
Yeah, no.
How do you play that last 45 to a minute of a game when you know that there could be a kick either on, after, or near the final siren?
Do you not take a breath so your co-callers can't get in?
There's definitely a... because, you know, callers, Joey will say, we all do about 30 seconds each or one passage of play. It is important not to let go of that passage and continue it because if it's 45 seconds out...
Which it was last night when Joey took it over.
Yeah, and I think it was when I took it over last night too. You snatch it off them and give them no choice. But it is something that I'm always looking at the clock. For a minute and a half, 2 to go, I'm thinking... Which way is this going? Which am I going to be on or am I going to be off?
And he's trying to manipulate position.
Oh, you are manipulating it like there's no.
You want to be Zach Bailey last night. You want the ball.
Yes, because my opportunity has passed to be Zach Bailey, so I am Zach Bailey in the box.
You would time it. You might do a little 15-second call to give someone else the 30 seconds, knowing you get the last.
Get out of that normal rotation to suit yourself at the end.
Well, let's have a listen to Brian's call because he manipulated it beautifully.
Now he was meant to have the shot last week. It's 6 days late, I know, but here's the chance to win the game. The siren's going to sound. Siren's gone. After the siren for Bailey to kick the winning goal. They're 5 points down. Every boy dreams of this. Directly in front, he's got it. He's got it. Brisbane have won. Bailey's kicked the goal. The dream comes true.
Brilliant call, and now that you understand the manipulation required to get yourself in that, it's a very good lesson for all young commentators, Brian.
And of course, what happens like Darce did last night, and like Haim did with me last night.
Yes.
Is what they do is they, as soon as they jump in on you.
Yes.
And they start to just so they can be on the news that night. Because that's the little bit that's going to be shown and heard. And it's all about, with Das and these sort of guys, it's all about trophy hunting. They're hunting the trophy moment. And this is where Joey, myself and Nath differ. We just there to just fill in the gaps.
Right.
Was there an occasion, Brian, in the past
Team players we
Yes.
Has there been an occasion for you where you've missed that moment?
And learnt the lesson?
Clearly. Yeah.
Absolutely. Missed many moments.
That was the voice of Damien Barrett there, Brian. How's he going? He's obviously an award-winning journalist. How have you seen his start to the season?
He's won a lot of awards. I haven't seen much of Damo so far, but are you in semi-retirement or you still going? Or
Well, you used to work with us on the Saturday Rub.
This is awkward, Howie.
Did you two last work together on Grand Final Day? Is that the last time you've been in the box together?
I don't think we worked together on Grand Final Day, unless I'm...
Right.
No, we didn't. Did we?
Yeah, we were in Brisbane.
But I didn't... Oh, yeah, that's right. We did work together on Grand Final Day. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
What are you alluding to?
Well,
Dave?
What are you alluding to?
It feels awkward between you two. That's
But
all I'm
Damo had
saying.
mentioned there was some tension on a Friday
there's
night.
no
he
tension.
mentioned.
I was just...
I didn't mention tension.
You know, when you think about it from my point of view,
Yep.
People don't even know about this, but I'm about to call a game of footy, pretty big day for a commentator on
A lot of
TV,
pressure.
Grand
My word.
Final, and I'm having to put up with this shit on Triple M about, whether someone's good or no good or done any good. Mate, see you later. I'm off. I don't need that shit.
No, I appreciate that. Brian Taylor calling it as it is. Have you got any more advice? Because what you've just given us for young callers is quite extraordinary and will set people's career up. Have you got any other advice that you've learnt along the way? Because you are the best and you work with the best. What else have you picked up along the way as far as calling games of football?
Keep it to yourself. Tell no one nothing. If some young kid comes out and says, now, I'd like to be mate, you find out. Go and find out.
But in saying that,
I'm not
Brian, you
telling
don't do that. Because I rang
not
you
telling
many
you.
years ago and I asked you out for a coffee because I wanted to become a caller and you were very generous with your time.
No, I just
with
wanted
me.
the free coffee.
No, that's true, because I did the same, Brownie. I rang BT as well because he's the best caller going around and asked for some advice, and he was very generous with his time.
See, he's misunderstood.
He's
misunderstood.
And obviously loving who you work with now, but are you missing Macca? Like, we turn on the footy and we're used to hearing him on a Friday night.
Yes.
How is it without the great man? Who's far from retired, he's in the Olympics, he's doing the horse racing.
No, look,
Dynamic.
it's been good because others have come along and done a great job as well, but missing the best caller in the Southern Hemisphere and one of the best callers in the world is going to hurt anybody. And we're all still probably trying to fill that gap, and hopefully we will over the years to come.
Is it feverish behind the scenes, just who's trying to fill
Yes.
that gap at the moment?
There's a lot going on between JB, Das and Haim and myself. We're all battling and...
Oh, it's not you. You're
No,
established.
you're there.
You're established.
You're above it all.
I've never seen manoeuvring behind the scenes like I'm currently seeing, and a lot of bitchiness sort of associated with who's doing what and how good am I going, and he rang me and he didn't ring me, and it's a little story in itself.
So again, further to that advice that you're giving to young callers, should you be going positively about your own work, or do you need to white ant the opposition as well?
No, you need to definitely white ant. Speaking of that, Howie, I know a case. I don't know whether I should mention it, whether it's been part of.
Oh no, bring it to the table.
You sure?
That's
Because
what
it
we
involves you.
Okay, give it a go. No, go on.
Look, I can't tell you all I know, but
Go on. Tell me all you know.
You know the sort of little behind the scenes sort of sniggering and little poke here and the stab there and a bit of a knifing here and there. Look,
go on, Brian.
You know, there was a big game last year. I better not say. No, I better not. All
Go on.
No,
Go on. You've got this far.
started
No,
now.
I'm going to back out.
No.
But there is a member of the Triple M team that maybe thought... maybe I won't say that.
Brian. Brian. What you're saying doesn't sound like me, so I'd like you to say it.
No, I can't. I can't, Howie,
Yes, you can.
because it's a big bombshell.
We love bombshells.
Get the bomb ready.
It's a non-rating period, this.
You really
Big
teased us.
bombshell, but it's nothing I haven't done myself. But anyway.
Well,
No,
what-
Maybe take names out of it.
Do you want to own up to something?
No, well,
Howard?
I don't know of anything I've done. I don't normally call the big games, so I'm fascinated myself.
yeah, that could be the point.
Did it revolve around grand final day?
No, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I wasn't at Triple M much.
All
But,
right. Great insight, Brian.
But you and
what's
Dame
required.
are okay, yeah?
We've got
We're
no
good.
issues.
Yeah.
No problems.
Should we talk about I actually don't want to talk about the game now because I'm getting an insight in what it takes to be the best. But we should, Nath. So, Nath, from you, 3 things the Bulldogs need to do to win today, please.
Well, they've got to come here, and their first thing has got to be that they look at the opposition and they don't think it's an easy beat, it's an easy kill out there today, because it's not. I mean, you're only 1 or 2% off, and a team will take you to the cleaners. Obviously, secondary to that, they just need to win the contested footy. That's where everything starts, around the contested footy. And when they run and carry with that football, you cannot stop the Bulldogs when they run in waves. That first game they played against Collingwood, so many times they got the ball out in the wing, and it was Daniel overlap to Smith, overlap to McRae, to Bontempelli. So if they run in waves, I think the Kangaroos can go with them.
All right, Joe, you've got the alternative. 3 things that the Roo boys need to do to win, please.
I think the first thing they need to do is they need to pressure like they've never pressured before. As Brownie just said, the Western Bulldogs handball game is so good. There have been a lot of teams that have made silly not being able to lay a glove on them and be able to tackle them. If the Kangaroos can just get after them with that fanatical pressure that we have seen from the Kangaroos in the past couple of years, we know they are capable of applying red-hot pressure. If they can get after the Bulldogs handball game and force turnover and then go quick off that turnover, take some risks, take the game on, you never know what's possible in this game of footy. We saw some upsets in round 1. You never know. And, of course, when you do get their opportunities, they've got to make the most of it in front of goal. They've got to convert. They've got to take their half chances. They've got to try and get Larky and Zurhar and a couple of their gun forwards involved. And if they do that, anything is possible. But, of course, it's going to be a tough ask against this Bulldogs team that's humming at the moment.
Good on you, Joe. GoodFridayAppeal.com.au or 1300 Appeal. That's 1300 Appeal. Damo, we'll get your headlines shortly. But we've got a debutant today for the Kangaroos. We heard about him from the coach, Will Phillips. We also mentioned that we get teary when we hear these phone calls. Let's have a listen to Will Phillips on the phone to his family during the week.
Hi.
I can't talk. I've got clients coming in.
Okay. I'm making my debut this Friday.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
You're not filming this, are you?
Maybe.
Don't
Hey.
What do you got to say?
I'm playing.
Fair income.
Yeah. You okay?
Yeah, mate, I'm alright. I'm super proud.
Thanks, Dad.
I know you work so hard, so that's just awesome.
Thanks so much.
Far out. At least you're not going up against a good midfield.
Pretty straight from Mum and Dad.
What about the dad? At least you're not going up against a good midfield.
What about the mum? I just got to get to the clients. They're a little bit more important than your first game.
Now, Damo, headline for tomorrow, please, in the tabloids on this one.
I expect Aaron Norton to kick a bag today, Howie, and as such, that would leave the headline writers allowing the use of the word Norton.
Yes.
So Aaron leaves North, Norton 3.
Oh, that's actually good. No, that's actually pretty good.
What about Easter bunnies?
Yeah, I thought about that. I thought I'd go with Norton first.
No, I like it.
Okay, I
quite imaginative.
Brian likes it.
Teams are getting ready. Brian, did you have the phone call back to Perth when you were about to make your VFL debut? Obviously not filmed in those days, but
no,
can you recall?
If I hear any more of these calls, I'll vomit. Really.
But you must have rung your mum and dad.
1 is great, 2's enough, 3 is a no-ski. Just if I hear another one of those.
Kids on the ground either, Brian.
Did you remember ringing your folks to say, I've made the big time?
I didn't tell them.
Right.
Just played.
Right. They had to tune into winners over there in the West at 5 o'clock.
No, it's just, come on, let's get real. Let's put hip and shoulder on or something. Do something, somebody.
Hello, Chewy. Nice to see you as always. How are you, Red Z Lenders?
Yeah, good afternoon, Howie. Great to see Ben Cunnington back in the team. Only played 3 matches last year between 2014 to 19. He only missed 9 games of footy, and in that period he won 2 BNFs and finished second on 3 occasions. So we'll look out for him. Of course, Will Phillips, highest draft pick for the Kangaroos since Lockie Hansen back in 2006, taking at pick number 3, of course.
Good on you, Chewy. Bob Jane T-Mart. Bob Jane. Book a free Bob Jane T-Mart tyre safety check today and keep your family safe on the road this Easter. Good afternoon to you, Tommy Brown.
Good afternoon, Howie. A showpiece game for North Melbourne, this particular slot, and it's a pretty solid crowd so far. I'll try and get some data from the AFL, but just visually it looks quite impressive. And of course the AFL's policy, roof shut, beautiful day, but that's the AFL's policy for the duration of the season.
All right, all set for a start here. Good Friday football in the hands of the best in the business, Brian Taylor.
All right, very done. Well done, Tommy. Let's go. Get underway. Umpires today, Brendan Hosking, Brett Roseberry and Andre Gianfagna. Ball out of the middle, goes with the Dogs immediately. Bailey Dale got the handball, received. Little handball back inside, not great. Picked up by Cunnington. Gave it over there to, on that occasion, Anderson. The kick forward here. Opportunity for North early in this game. About 25 metres from their goal. The Dogs' defence good. Daniel got collected with a hip and shoulder. English got it to Bailey Smith. Bailey Smith, beautiful ball to Norton with a finger tipper.
Gardner's hurt early. Coming from the side was Alex Keith. It was friendly fire. As you see on the Harvey Norman replay screen, it looks like a shoulder.
Doesn't look good at all. Tommy will be on that. So Giray's got it. Deep in defence with the pink boots on for the Western Bulldogs. Two-time premiership hawk. Tommy, down to you. Bob Jane. Doesn't look good, Gardner.
No, it doesn't look good, Gardner. He's already got it in the sling made out of his jumper. So he's going to go straight down with Dr. Gary Zimmerman, straight down to the rooms to have that assessed.
It's gone to the city side, dumped out in the full in the end by the Dogs. So the Kangas will reset. Driving ball, not really timed inside 50. Bontempelli, what a game last week. Kangaroos trying to work it out away forward. Dave Juniacki just kicked it straight to Easton Wood. Great to see him back in Bulldogs colours.
So he gets the handball out wide. Missed Bailey Dale. Zeeble closes on him. Corrals him to the boundary line and we'll have a boundary throw in.
The way he came off with his arm in the sling then, as we see the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen, it's either a bad shoulder, he grabs his shoulder straight away, and
maybe collarbone as well.
Alex Keith just needed to have a little bit more awareness. I know you're trying to do your utmost at the foot, but he had the front position, just needed to have a little bit of periphery vision. Obviously an accident, but friendly fired.
Voice of Nathan Brown on Triple M Football. Cbus Super Special Comments, delivering consistent long-term returns for members. Cbus for all of us. Out of the middle, Davey Juniak. Handball too big for Zeeble. Picked up and in on this occasion for the Dogs. They want to go forward, and they do very, very nicely with a kick out wide. Bailey Smith on the end of it. Handballs out wide here to Vandermeer. Vandermeer searching inside 50. Good ball. Josh Bruce takes the mark. Right on his range.
50.
In fact, there's a 50, so this will mean that Bruce will kick it from point-blank range. Was it the standing rule, Joey? Did you pick that up?
Having a look now, Triple M Harvey Norman replay. As Bruce took the mark and slid to ground, maybe Walker got a fist in slightly late, but...
Bit of a fracas going on at centre-half forward while all of this is happening as well. A lot of players involved in that. Bruce comes in, he kicks the goal, that attracts a little bit of attention. The fracas dissipates. And a little bit of agitation in this one. Dogs one straight. North yet to score. IGA Liquor scoreboard.
It's Bontempelli they're getting into. He's got the ripped jersey, so Kangaroos are trying to show a little bit of spirit early in this game, but we're just waiting for that Harvey Norman replay. It was a good lead from Bruce, but the 50-metre penalty against Walker, I think for spoiling the ball after he took the mark slightly late.
Had a poor year last year, Josh Bruce. Had one good game where he kicked 6 goals. Outside that, didn't do a lot, but his first 2 games have been really good. Took 11 marks in that first game against Collingwood. I thought on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen it was a little bit harsh from the umpire because the other player was just sliding in at the end. He did touch the footy, but I'm not sure what he could have done.
Bob Jane, T-Much, medical sub. Sorry, Tommy.
Yeah, Lipinski looks like he's almost ready to come on. Dr. Gary Zimmerman, who's the Bulldogs doctor's come back to the bench with no sign of Gardner, so I think you can scratch him out for the night.
And Josh Bruce coming into this game, he kicked 12 majors from his past 2 games against North Melbourne.
Jim Man with the Red Zeds. Cunnington, a long time out of the game, caught in the middle. Liberatori sizzles the ball forward. Zeeble working across the half-back line. Clever ball, hits Anderson. He looks to the outer side, Simpkin. Fine young player. Drops the ball deep. Kangaroos outsized in defence. 4 players fall to the ground. Give the Dogs a chance to exit. Bailey Williams, funny little hook ball around the corner. They've got issues back there, the Dogs, and eventually the boundary line gets them out of trouble with Lockie Hunter.
As you know, Howie, I'm fascinated with hair, and Josh Walker, he went down the feather path and had the rug on top, but it looks like he's gone away from that sort of David Hale style, and he's not doing it anymore. I think he's just gone back to natural.
Is there a chance for finasteride to help him out, Nate? It's your area?
It could be a little bit too late for him, I think.
Okay, Lockie Hunter caught with the footy. Bontempelli, game and a half last week, driving left foot ball to the wing contest. Mackay does well. They come back the other way here, the Kangas.
They do indeed. Handball to Goldstein. Threaded the little needle there. Got it through the gap. Involved was Powell. It ends up with Cunnington. Left foot to Thomas. Thomas marks directly in front. 48 metres out here for the Kangas.
Already seen the value of Ben Cunnington back in the side. It's been an issue for the Kangaroos going inside 50. Just to have some composure, and the experience of Cunnington was good enough on that situation.
Tom Lipinski.
Lipinski's on the ground, so he's obviously been activated.
So the sub activated immediately on the back of Gardner coming from the ground with shoulder, collarbone. Thomas now 50. No troubles with the distance. All about accuracy. Misses left. So behind there for the Kangas, goal for the Bulldogs on the IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Pretty deep into the top row. It's starting to look like a pretty good Good Friday crowd.
GoodFridayAppeal.com.au to donate. Ball goes to the outer side. English has started nicely, takes a contested mark. Back flank, City side. Such an important afternoon for the Kangas. Marquee game, national audience. Want to impress their fans. Goldstein marked straight down the line.
Goldstein immediately, a little short ball, and Kangas looking reasonably attacking here at the moment as they go forward once again. High ball. Keith puts up the one hand, takes the mark in front of Larkey.
You mentioned that they were looking attacking, Brian, and they are. They're moving the ball really quickly at the moment, the Kangaroos, and they're catching the Dogs on the hop a little bit, and they're getting the ball inside forward 50 quickly, but haven't been able to take too many marks at the moment, apart from the one where they had the shot at goal.
Last three crowds, and you mentioned it, 48,000, 33 and 42. Remembering only 75% capacity here today for this one. In there on that occasion, tried to win it was Hunter, went without the footy. They close on him, and we'll have a ball up at half forward for the Kangas. So 6.5 minutes played here in the first quarter.
Will Phillips on debut, the orange boots. Boomer Harvey's former number, Nate, that's an honour. Number 29.
Great player, Boomer.
Ball to be contested, whistle.
Holding, North Melbourne.
Going the way of the Kangaroos. And it is in the hands of the debutant, Will Phillips. This is his first kick, too.
Yeah, spot on, Howie.
Takes a bit off the ball, it's good. Short. Finds Jed Anderson. Kick and a half from home. Just slides a left ball. Eastonwood got his name all over it, went straight through his hands. A hack ball out from defence. It was off the boot of Bailey Williams, and it went straight to Aaron Hall, who will line up for about 48 out, no real angle.
It's not how you see the Dogs exiting their back 50 in the first two rounds of football. A little bit of a panic about it then. Bailey Williams, I thought that he could have rode the tackle and tried to get the ball out to somebody by hand, but elected to go by foot. And if you don't clear that 50 arc, it's very dangerous.
90 career goals for the man out of Hobart, Aaron Hall. Just a steady things for the Kangaroos. She's got the distance. A booming kick. The Kangaroos get their opening goal. Post height from 50, if you don't mind. And the Roo boys are in front, 1-1. To the Dogs, one straight. That is all in your Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
A really positive start by the Kangaroos. Already 7 inside 50s to 2 in their favour. So they've been able to play the game in their front half. They're cracking in. The pressure's really high at the moment. Nice to get that goal. Just a bit of a steadier and get some reward for effort.
Joe Montagna on Triple M football. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor proudly local and proudly independent. Sees how he says a 1-point lead with the Kangas on the back of that goal from Hall, which was a ball-bursting attack from beyond the arc. We go back to the middle. Goldstein and English. Umpire waiting for the OK. And just repeating the sub already out. Gardner out for the Dogs. Lipinski, as the medical sub, was activated in the first 2 minutes of the game. Shoulder, collarbone, somewhere in that region. Goldstein, beautiful knockdown. Simpkin got it there to Anderson. Steps on the gas on the head of Thomas, and he'll get it free. I think Eastonwood might have been hanging on a little there, and Thomas has got the free 35 out slide angle.
It's a beautiful tap down from Todd Goldstein. It was just over the top in the ruck. And they just had the player at the 12 o'clock there and quick hands, and it was just an easy takeaway from the Kangaroos. And then you put pressure on. When you get the Dogs one-on-one, they're under pressure. They're a little bit undersized. They've got Gardner out of this side, so almost a mismatch there. You expected Eastonwood to do better than that, but the Kangaroos could go back-to-back goals.
Any hold this year, the umpires in that situation have been right onto it. Thomas comes back, steps just to the right of it, so a minor score, 1-2-8 to 1 straight 6. Joey, they have been onto that rule this year, haven't they?
Spot on, BT. Anytime they see the arms around the forward, they've been paying the free kick. I know Duck said last night he would have kicked another 250 goals. He might have kicked another 100 as well if you got all those free kicks.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks football. Dogs struggling to exit defence. They've made a mess of it again. Falls down to number 35, Lazaro, early on in his career. He's run down from behind. Nervous moments, Nate, for the Dogs trying to exit defensive 50.
Well, you asked me the three things the Dogs had to do to win this game, Harry, and one of them I said was not to take the Kangaroos too lightly. I mean, they're the worst side in the competition, but if you're 1% off in this game, I know it's early, you're going to get chopped up.
Chalor wearing the number 1 jersey. Puts a high ball down the wing. Vandermeer runs onto it. He goes back by hand.
To Smith. Smith, a horrible little kick. It only had to go 15 to fight Johannesson. He kicked it out of bounds on the full. Pollock's got the free at half back here. I agree with you, Brownie. I don't know whether it's a tiny little bit of disrespect or we can just win this game attitude without having to do all the little things. Here's Walker, centre half back. So the Kangas getting the job done at the moment. Beautiful kick out. Very, very wide. They're looking for Lazaro. He kept it alive here. Duray was able to pick it up, gave the handball back inside. North keeping it inside their 50. Zerha was tackled to the ground, spills to Daniel. Daniel back to Lipinski. Lipinski to Trelaw, tried to thread the needle. McRae got on the end of it, heard the call out wide, needs to be quick. Bang, got bowled over Dunkley. Got a big heavy hip and shoulder, but he got straight back up when he realised he didn't get the free. Daniel now with a sneaky handball, got it further afield. Opportunity on that occasion. Scott gets it there to Norton. Norton goes long and deep and won't get there. Bruce over the line, out of bounds on the full, I think.
I saw him play against West Coast Eagles last week. It was one of the games of the season so far, and the Dogs were absolutely ravenous around the contest, and when they won it, they didn't make mistakes, and they run and carried. 20% play on so far, but they're making mistakes already that they didn't make last week, and maybe they have come into this game thinking, and we're only 10 minutes in, obviously talent will probably take over at some stage, but all of a sudden a few mistakes start to creep in. It gets into your mental psyche, and then mistake follows mistake, and that's what the Dogs are doing at the moment.
Triple M Cbus super special comments, delivering consistent long-term return for members. Cbus for all of us. Kangaroos have just moved the ball laterally across the defensive zone. Goldstein kicks it straight into an opponent in Hunter, who smothers it across the line, so the Dogs will remain in attack. With the score, one straight for the Dogs. The Kangaroos 1-2-8.
Deep stoppage here for the Dogs. Just a moment to collect their thoughts. Hunter arriving first. Converging Johannesson applies the tackle, locks it in, and will ball up again about 20 metres directly in front of the Dogs' northern locket end goal. Goldstein gets the free here against English. I heard the umpire's call. Exclusively Mike for Triple M Football. Brett Rosebery, one of the very best in the business there. Todd Goldstein, so just a little slow passage of play after a pretty fast starting game. Walker's got it.
I think I'd say about that slow play then, Brian. Every Kangaroo player spread to the boundary line. That was the only place he could kick. No one spread straight up the middle to try and offer something up.
Pushing the back.
Big early fly from Zerha.
Stand.
Pushing the back. Free kick, take your pick. Falls to Duray. He goes back inboard to Anthony Scott in game number 3. And the Dogs moving across half back. Caleb Daniel, wonderful user of the footy, puts it under the arm. Little 30-metre slider is good to Johannesson.
And he wheels and goes immediately. Kicks long and deep inside 50. Norton on the attack. Knocked away by Walker. Well defended by him without infringing. Stevenson was careful to come in the front. Got the little handball backwards. North out of trouble momentarily. Marnie got it. Immediately treads on the accelerator. Goes inside to Simpkin. Simpkin now gets it off further afield to Hall. He's kicked wide. Gobbled up here by the Dogs. Handball comes to Keith. They're away. Can Bailey Smith get around the attempted tackle there? Yes, he can just. Keith keeps it rolling in front of Lazaro. Got to go and get it, they do. Hunter squeezed the trigger with a handball there to Smith. Goes deep inside 50. Goldstein at the front. In the front of the pack also Bruce. Left foot snap. Bending, got it. Ripper. Dogs nail one. Got a couple. 2 straight. North 1-2-8. IGA Liquor scoreboard.
That was really Bailey Smith's running ability that broke open that passage of play there. He just took off after he gave the handball. He had too much speed, too much running capability, and that gave the Dogs a chance. But the Kangaroos just lost their forward shape. They'd all worked hard up the ground to support the team defensively. And when Hall it was that got the footy just back at the centre circle, had nothing long to go to for the Kangaroos. We've seen most other teams in the comp this year have someone inside 50. North didn't. Turnover cost them a goal.
Won't get a stat for it, but Aaron Norton was enormous in that contest then. Getting back was Todd Goldstein, was going to take an easy mark. Aaron Norton made a beeline forward, realised he couldn't get there, launched into it and brought the ball to ground to his co-forward in Josh Bruce, who kicked a good one.
Caleb Daniel, 9 disposals, number 1 ranked player at the moment. Bontempelli, just the one. He's polled 12 Brownlow votes from 10 career matches against the Roos.
Great stuff on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen of Bruce celebrating. Purchase with 60 months interest-free at Harvey Norman. Receive a bonus gift card. Conditions apply. Away the Dogs go again. In the middle of the ground, they're going to drive the ball forward. Deep. Bruce comes again. Was he given a shove? I reckon he was. Umpire agrees. Bruce will line up for his third.
Gee, he needs this for his confidence as well.
So waiting for the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen.
That's right in his arm. You are allowed to put your arm in someone else's arm. There was nothing in the back at all there.
It's a push in the side. The only thing there was the ball too far away. I don't think so.
Career high for Josh Bruce in the game of footy, two-man, Red's it?
Yep, 6 majors.
Well, he's about to kick his third in the opening 16 minutes of this one. Josh Bruce from directly in front. We've buzzed him because somehow he's missed it. Not sure how. From 15, no angle, 2-1 the Dogs. Kangas 1-2 to on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
A little tight and choky as Hall muscles one out wide, stolen by Lipinski. So they're coming back, the Dogs. Bruce has barely got time to catch his breath, told to go as he comes off the mark. Lipinski kicks it more to the pocket than the top of the square. High ball mark taken in the end, and Norton is the flyer on this occasion. So Norton and Bruce causing problems for the Kangas defence.
It's a real noticeable thing in the last couple of years that attacking kick into the pocket so they don't get defended or scored against if they don't mark this footy. And I'd prefer it to go to the top of the square, but it's almost a defensive, offensive play into the pocket. But now Norton has to kick it from an angle.
Faces the middle of the ground, the kick around the body, no problems. Norton kicks the goal. So here they come, the Dogs. 3-1-19 to 1-2-8. On the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Yeah, last 4 inside 50s to the Western Bulldogs. They've just upped the ante. I know early there was a bit of talk, Brandy. You thought maybe the Bulldogs were just a little bit complacent. But I think the Kangaroos' pressure, to be fair, the first 10 minutes have been elite. As soon as we've seen a little bit of that drop off in the last 5 or 10 minutes, Stu, it's just allowed the Bulldogs to get a few better looks inside 50.
Yeah, it's at 205 at one stage. Well, overall, as we speak, it's now dropped down to 191 last 10 minutes.
Bob Jane T-Marts. Book a free Bob Jane T-Marts tyre safety check today and keep your family safe on the road this Easter. Already the medical sub activated for the Bulldogs, Tommy?
It has been. Obviously Gardner out for the day with Lipinski on. Obviously I'll chase up Gardner. It looks like a shoulder injury. And the Bont, an impeccable specimen. His ripped jumper is coming off as we speak. It looked pretty tatty. He's got a new one about to go on.
An impeccable specimen indeed. Pick up a $2 McFlurry and Macca's loose change menu as part of your Friday night footy feed at Macca's. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks football. 3-1, the Dogs. Kick 2 of the last 3. The Kangas 1-2. So 11-point margin. Stevenson started nicely at his new club. He goes outside to the debutant. That's Will Phillips out of Beverly Hills. City side between wing and half back. He just chips it straight back to Sean Atley.
2 most famous players, Brownie out of Beverly Hills Footy Club.
Roosie.
Paul Roos.
Gary Pert and Paul Roos. Short little ball. Out wide here, high footy it is, but it'll be marked no problems at all by Powell.
Thinking of Beverly Hills 90210.
Out back and a bit of a soap king. You
Luke Perry and Jason Priestley.
Shannon Doherty.
Little short ball, no more. And there's Scott.
Brandon.
Bailey Scott of North Melbourne, right in front of the Kangaroos bench.
Dylan.
Simpkin offers the lead. Scott runs around the man on the mark. Goes deep. Dogs out the back door. Handball was effective from Martin to Law. Kept it to Dunkley. Was going to handball it. Decided not to and threw it in the end. Play on and Simpkin got the free and it goes to Stevenson. He takes the mark 20 out directly in front.
Bit of Ian Ziering about this guy too. So playing some pretty good footy at the moment, the Kangaroos. They started really well. They've allowed the Dogs the last 3, but I've loved the way they've gone about it so far today. Joey said their pressure early had been good. Very hard for a young side to keep that enormous pressure up all game for 4 quarters, but they've been doing it for 20 minutes so far.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve Sanders.
Stevenson lines up. 25 metres out directly in front for the Kangas. Got it. No problems. 2-2-14 the Kangas. The Dogs 3-1-19. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Stevenson, we used to get quite amazed by how many goals he'd kick in opening terms, two-man.
Yeah, since start of 2019, 42% of his goals have been kicked in first quarters, Howie.
Remarkable that, Joey.
He's a fast starter. That's right. He's had the 4 disposals and a goal already so far today. It was great to see young Will Phillips too getting a lot of love from the Kangaroos fans. Of course, there's been a bit of talk about him already. Pick number 3, the Kangaroos chose him over Logan McDonald, who's been a bit of the hype at the Sydney Swans. But we've got to give this kid time. He's going to be a beauty as well, and it's a bit too early to be making comparisons with Logan McDonald.
Nice crowd, Chewy. What are the numbers stacking up, you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon there's probably about 25,000, Howie, a little bit more than the Bulldogs West Coast game last Sunday.
You agree with that, BT?
Yep, that'd be roughly right.
Pretty good crowd. It's a cracking day in Melbourne if you're not in Melbourne.
What's 75% of 52,000, Ash?
It's about 40?
Yep, 39, I think it is.
Down to Bontempelli. Size the ball forward. Falls out the back of Vandermeer. He might go it alone. He's chased out from behind. Tumbles it forward. Snap round the corner from the Dogs. It's a little bit skinny. It was off the boot of Lachlan McNeil. 3-2 the Dogs. 2-2 the Kangas, trailing by a goal. What are we seeing on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen there, Brownie?
Just seeing the fact that the young defender, Gardner, is in the rooms. He's got his shoulder taped up now. He's got it in a sling, and he probably looks like he's going to go off to hospital to have it scanned and checked out. His day over in the first 30 seconds of the game. Lipinski comes on as the medical sub and gets a really good crack at it.
Gary Zimmerman, the doctor down there, getting it all done, the best in the business. Well, they don't like that. Yeah, sort them out. And free kick here. In fact, the mark is going to be paid directly on the intercept to the Western Bulldogs, Tom Liberatore. 45 metres out directly in front.
There was young Tom Powell with the turnover. He just tried to be aggressive, bring the ball back through the corridor, which is what Brownie wanted, but just didn't quite come off.
He's a very highly skilled player, Tom Liberatore. When you see him in traffic, very rarely makes a mistake. Gets a lot of hurried kicks out of packs, but when he's got time and space, he's a good user.
17-8 from set shots in his career, so that's pretty impressive.
Except that one.
And that one's Mark.
It's an effective kick
on the line there by Bruce, and Bruce will now line up from the boundary line. He marked it basically on the behind post. He miskicked at Libba, and Bruce probably reading that better than anyone else.
He's on today, Josh Bruce, and you're right, Brian, when you're on, you read him better, and I like him snapping across his body more than a set shot.
Left foot around the corner here. Faces the middle of the ground, deep in the pocket, swings the left boot around and converts the goal. So he's kicked 3 goals, 1, Josh Bruce, in 22 minutes of football, and the Dogs are 4 goals, 2. And the North are 2-2 on the Triple M scoreboard.
Certain players that are better at kicking ball from 45, 50, 55 out as a normal kick, and Josh Bruce is one of them. Anywhere around 15 to 20 out, I think Josh Bruce is better electing to have a snap across his body. The same with Joe Danaher last night. We saw him kick a snap late from about 15. Then we saw him from 20 metres out directly in front miss it. I just think there's certain players that are better at the one across the body because they've got too much time to think when they're 20 metres out and it's too easy for them.
Yeah, I read a really good article about Josh Bruce today, just saying he was really disappointed with his year last year in the hub. There were a whole bunch of circumstances, another baby, the hub, a new club, but he really worked hard over the pre-season to take his fitness to another level. Worked with Jack Steele in Canberra, and he's seeing the rewards so far early this season. 7 goals already this season.
It was kick 3, Joey, and he missed one from 15 out, no angle, so he could have 4.
Could be a big day.
Triple M Red Z Lending stats. Red Z Lending, loan for the self-employed. What do you like him, Chew?
Yeah, 16 goals, 1 now for Josh Bruce. Last 3 against North Melbourne, Howie.
Dead-eye stuff. McRae works hard at ground level. Just shoved forward by Liberatore. Atley goes back with the one-hander, does nicely. Favours the city side, goes very short to his skipper in Zeeble.
Again, on that occasion, no Kangaroos players burst in the middle. It's not always going to be on that kick into the middle, but somebody's got to go in there. Everybody's spread to the boundary to get the kick lateral, and then what happens is you slow down like you are now.
Simpkin wearing the number 12. I could only barely see it out of the TV screens that we promised we'd get new ones. Polek by management, but they haven't arrived yet. Polek, they're really fuzzy. Very old, 1970s, full-backers. Little kick to Simpkin, missed. Barleydale soccer out of the hands there.
Full-backers.
And ball, dispossessing tackle. Gian Fagner says, get on with it. As it dribbles over the line out of bounds. Let's get down to Tom Brown, ground level.
BT, the official diagnosis so far from the Bulldogs for Gardner is an AC joint. So he'll no doubt go to the Avenue and see Greg Hoy in the next couple of days and get that assessed and obviously have scans, as Brownie mentioned.
Another one of the best in the business, Greg Hoy. Bob Jane T-Marks there. There's Mark Howard, Triple M footy.
Free kick going the way of Larky in the rock contest against Steph Martin.
Stand now.
Larky's working off half back. Doesn't see anything he likes immediately. He goes short now. Hall slips. Does well in the end. A chipping ball across the face. To kick the goal. Aaron Hall, the first for the Kangas as they go laterally. Attlee does well, keeps the ball in, does a little step. And Liberatore and Williams make sure that the ball is pushed across the line.
The Dogs doing this mainly without their two major ball winners so far this year. Jack McRae's only had the 4, Bontempelli only the 2 kicks so far.
Just hearing that 35,000 tickets have been redeemed for this game. We believe
North Melbourne.
there are still several thousand people trying to get into the ground here at the moment. So Larkey here on the wing. North Melbourne fast start, slowed off a little, but still very much in this, 14 to 26. Stevenson, short ball, Davey Zuniak. Right on the wing, right in front of the Kangas interchange bench here as he slips the ball back sideways again. So going nowhere here at the moment, the Kangas just preferring to maintain possession. Still got 3 minutes in the quarter to go. Pollock's got it still at half-back. Went nowhere in 4 possessions then, the Kangas. High ball there, Martin was in front. Dunkley got the front and centre, ripped it off to Easton Wood. Sharp hands, Bontempelli to Williams. Williams to Dale. This is Bailey Dale in the defensive 50. 2 bounces as he crosses from the water side to the city side. Gives it to Duray, who's on his right foot, had to turn back on the left. Easton Wood missed the mark. Followed up, got it. Handball off to McRae. He ran into the brick wall and Simpkin. Tidied up again. Keith from right in the Coles, middle of the ground. Kicks a high ball forward. Here comes Bruce once again. Bounced up. I'm not sure there. Went through the arms of Bontempelli. Stevenson's kick is a beauty and finds Thomas.
Great ball. Needs to wait for some Kangaroos players to get ahead of the footy. There's Thomas.
Move it on. Play on.
There's no one to go to in the middle.
Now the 45 kick's not there, Nath, so he goes old school, hugs the boundary line. Does he keep it in? Just Turner.
It's almost like they're playing 2020, 2019 footy when it was okay to chip the ball around the edges because you could eventually slow play your way around. But at the moment, size is just absolutely tearing through the middle, playing on, and the Kangaroos aren't doing that yet.
Turner juggled it across the boundary line, so it had to be reset. And the Dogs through Liberatore. Walker drops one he should have taken. He's got the defensive handball available. He takes it, and the Dogs again will be defending on centre wing.
So I wonder whether that's a factor of them as the ball goes over the line out of bounds being underskilled at the moment and needing to learn defence. Brownie, is that possible?
It could be, but it's also a good time to say, well, you know, we need to take the game on because we're young. Nobody expects us to beat the Bulldogs today. So when we get it, take them on, take it through the middle. If you do turn it over, then we'll wear that. But we need to play daring football and not the down-the-line football we're playing at the moment.
Nath Brown, Joey Montagna, Seabar Super Special comments. Triple M football. Some of the best minds in the business, Howie. It's hard working with them, but they are good.
Yep. Oh, Nathan Joey.
Yeah.
Right.
Ball up, Larkey.
He's going to stitch me sides up, Howie. Is that funny?
McRae. Brownie just nodding in agreement. Liver. Handball out. Fast hands there on that occasion from Powell. Free kick's been paid, holding the man, so this will go the way of Anderson. 55 metres from the Kangaroos' goal, Howie.
Anderson with a high ball, drops it forward. 2-on-1 contest. Keith and Easton Wood were far too strong, but Thomas, Keith, short. Bailey Williams, 30 out from his defensive goal. His team lead at 26 to 14. Run from defence. Long ball to the wing. Mackay with a fist on it. Goes inboard. Attlee needs to get a handle on it. Lipinski puts some pressure on Cunnington. What are his numbers, Chew? Red Z?
4 touches.
Long time since he played footy, Chewy.
Yeah, round 3 last year.
Stevenson, hopeful hand pass to Mackay. Now the Kangaroos go back through Pollock and Zerha.
Really good crowd building here. Zeeble at centre half back. They had 28,000 in last night. There's more than that here now, I'd reckon. And more to come in, we're told. So the Kangas kick, that's a little fortuitous as it lands in the chest of Anderson. That's not 15, umpire. That is 6.5 metres. Each one of those mode strips out there is 12.5 metres, umpire. Goodness gracious. Short ball marked by Phillips. Phillips of North Melbourne in front of the Bulldogs' gate. Slows it right down. Why, I don't know. Short ball sideways. Having a lot of possessions in the same area here. Few seconds to go in this quarter. They're not going to score. Wasted the opportunity to go forward as Nathan Brown has asked them to. Simpkins marked at 60 out and is going to send a spiral forward bound. He's on the boundary, 60 metres out.
I reckon that might have been out of bounds on the full row, and Smith, the assistant coach, was walking around the boundary and gave the boundary umpire an almighty spray.
Simpkin, a mongrel, won't matter, but it could have, as Brownie was alluding to. So interesting game of footy. Fast start the Kangas, then the Bulldogs came through in the middle parts. 4-2-26, they lead it. The Kangas 2-2-14 on the Triple M RGA liquor scoreboard for McDonald's and Remont Water. Triple M rocks football.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent. For McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Footy's back and I'm loving it.
New to Triple M breakfast in 2021. Mighty Sheer Gold.
So fingers crossed, Freddie. I think he'd be a good medical sub.
He's not in their best 22. That's what I'm hearing coming very loudly from the...
No, wrong music. Not this time. There's no mystery here.
I don't think so. I'm not sure about that.
We'll never know.
You've been North Melbourne's best 10.
The Mighty Sheer Gold Show. New to Triple M. Weekdays from 6.
Here if you need.
Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app. To celebrate 2021, Thirsty Camel is giving one lucky shopper $21,000, which could buy you 300 bottles of champagne, 6 big screen TVs, or whatever you like. Just purchase any participating product, including Aperol 700ml, GH Mumm Champagne and 19 Crime selected varietals for your chance to win. Find your local bottle shop at thirstycamel.com.au. Permit number SAT 21/81. T's and C's apply. Hydrate responsibly.
You have 2 new messages.
How's the job hunt going? Call me back. I heard about some new government thing that'll help.
Hey love, next time you're online, could you go to jobs.vic.gov.au?
Jobs Victoria can help Victorians find their way back to work and businesses find the people they need. Jobs Victoria, helping Victoria get back to work. Call 1300 208 575 or visit jobs.vic.gov.au.
Oh, and can you get milk?
Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
G'day, Lawrence Mooney here. It's time to open your ears to a new world of audio on Listener. My show, Moon Man in the Morning, is available Australia-wide as a podcast. Plus, you can wrap your ears around other great comedy podcasts like Hamish and Andy's Remembering Project, and there's an entire station dedicated to yacht rock. That's no joke, just good times.
Listener. Radio, podcasts, music, news. Download the new app and listen for free.
Listener. To give you space as you return to your public transport network, we've made some changes, like introducing a 30% discount during off-peak times. With our new online Ride Space tool, you can check how busy the next train is from anywhere. And 450 extra weekly services, plus our free early bird train fare, will help us all start travelling again. We're ready when you are. Learn more at ptv.vic.gov.au. Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
At Pepper Money, we specialise in home loan options. In real life, people want to refinance for all sorts of reasons. To invest, consolidate debt, renovate, pay tax. But some lenders can be inflexible. At Pepper Money, we take a fresh approach to lending. And if we could find a way to help, we will. If you're looking for home loan options, why not call today? Talk to your broker or talk to us. Pepper Money, real life loan options. Australian credit licence 286655.
To celebrate 2021, Thirsty Camel is giving one lucky shopper $21,000, which could buy you 300 bottles of champagne, 6 big screen TVs, or whatever you like. Just purchase any participating product, including Wild Turkey 86.8 proof, Johnny Walker Black Label and Bailey's Irish Cream 700ml for your chance to win. Find your local bottle shop at thirstycamel.com.au. Permit number SAT 21/81. T's and C's apply. Hydrate responsibly.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Quarter time at Marvel. The Dogs 4-2-26. The Roos 2-2-14. The Dogs by 2 straight kicks. Josh Bruce has got 3. Bob Jane T-Marts. Book a free at Bob Jane T-Marts tyre safety check today and keep your family safe on the road this Easter. Tommy Brown.
Howie, the big story of the first quarter was the medical sub being activated for the Bulldogs. Gardner out for the afternoon with an AEC joint injury, according to the Dogs tweet. Obviously, Lipinski came on. It's interesting looking at the different styles of the coaches. Noble as coach from the bench, David Noble, the North coach, for the first quarter. Ben Rutten gets a lot of scrutiny doing that. I saw Chris Fagan does it last night. Like, each coach has their own style in that regard, but you think Rutten has been copping it for coaching from the bench, given a lot of other coaches do it. And as for the Dogs coach, Luke Beveridge, he just moves the magnets, comes out to the side bench and doesn't address the boys in the huddle until quite late in the quarter time break. He basically lets his line coaches talk, and then he adjusts the magnets and then goes out and gives the final address. So just sort of slightly different styles there from each coach.
On your Brownie, Q-Man, Reds Heads.
Josh Bruce, number 1 ranked player with his 3 majors. Cunnington 3, and Will Phillips on debut 3 touches as well.
I thought the Dogs started poorly. I didn't think not that they didn't come to play, that's the wrong term, but I thought they took the Kangaroos a little bit lightly in the first part. The Kangaroos made a really good fist of it, and they were really good around the contest, and probably should have kicked a couple more goals. The Kangaroos, they missed a couple of easy ones and opportunities. The Dogs started to get their game going, but I still don't understand why the Kangaroos are risk averse. I think they're a young side. They should be encouraging to take the game on, roll through the middle, but at this stage, they're just chipping the footy around with a 2019-2020 type game plan.
Yeah, from a tactical perspective, Brownie, they've taken 46 uncontested marks to 17. So they're trying to play basically keepings off against the Western Bulldogs. And what else they're doing from a tactical point of view is they're bringing up their forwards around the ball. So it's almost like they're trying to limit the damage and get numbers through the midfield. And what it means, they've only got 2 or 3 forwards in front of the ball. So it's going to be very hard for the Kangaroos to kick a winning score. It looks like they're just trying to keep this game close, get numbers around the footy, keep it off the Western Bulldogs, and see if by maybe three-quarter time they're within striking distance to potentially give themselves a chance.
Cbus Super Special Comments, delivering consistent long-term returns for members. Cbus for all of us. Joey Montagna, Nathan Brown, Mark Howard and Tom Brown with us on Triple M Football today. We've got a cracking game here at Marvel Stadium. By the way, the cheapest pies in Australia for the rest of the year are here. $2 pies, Howie.
$2.
Can't get them for that price anywhere other than here at Marvel. Little handball out of the middle. Cunnington started it all. Got it off to Goldstein via Zerha. Neat little ball finds Scott of the Kangas. Scott slips over as he goes to play on and kick. Eventually does. Long ball, not his best. Got over the back. Almost marked by Larkey. He applies the tackle. Players converge and we'll have a ball up. 25 out from the Kangaroos' goal.
Any limit on how many you can purchase?
No, many as you want. $2. Gee, that's cheap.
My word, it is. Larkey contests the ruck. Anderson falls to ground. Dishes out a little hand pass towards Cunnington. He just tries to shove it off the ground. Caught by Keith. A lot of players around the footy. Davis Uniacke thrown to the ground with the Kangaroos deep in attack.
So we'll have another ball up as a result. You can hear the umpires talking very nicely to the players. Larkey, and likewise in reverse. Eastonwood. Little kick around the corner. It was fortuitous that it landed in the waiting arms of Hunter. Otherwise it would have been a shot at goal by Polick. He goes wide and finds Norton on the lead at true half-back. So Norton coming down the interchange side of the ground. Little kick to Bailey Smith, who's been impressive all year. He's a good young player, this guy. He's got the hair, he's got the looks, he's got the want, and he can actually play. Kick to Norton, had to be strong in the contest with Zerha, and he was Norton. Just forward of half-back and looking to move it quickly. Creates a little bit of space between he and the man on the mark. Beautiful left foot kick to Libber. Libber onto Dunkley. Dunkley a little slider. Finds Hunter. Hunter gives it back. Now on the run is Johannesson. Couldn't get onto his right boot. Chipped it inside 50. Got it there to the front of the pack. I think it was maybe Lipinski, the medical sub out there, that got it out wide, and eventually the Kangas get hold of it through Thomas.
Thomas dropping the ball to the outer side. Turner can't keep it in. Gee, covers some ground, your man Bailey Smith, Brian. He zips around the ground. I'd like to see his GPS figures. What's his numbers so far, Chewy?
Yeah, 6 disposals. He's averaging 31 this year, Howie.
Oh, gee, covers some territory. Steph Martin and Goldstein. Hit Zerha in the head in the ruck contest. And the ball still on the City side, centre wing. No goals in the term so far. Scott overruns it. And Scott from the Bulldogs. Johannesson mops up. Dunkley. Bailey Dale leaves it behind. Stevenson tracks it back, tight on the boundary line. Spins out of trouble nicely to Simpkin. He goes underground. The debutant slips out a quick hand pass. And the ball's still bouncing around on the outer wing. Scott again. Steph Martin trapped with the footy. Pretty messy little period here, Brian.
It is indeed. A lot of players around the ball, Howie. No real telling possessions, and amongst that, Cunnington coming with a push-up and through it, so a free kick will go the way of the Dogs. Norton's got it at half forward here for the Western Bulldogs. Scrappy old affair. He plays on to nowhere, really ran himself into trouble. Little right foot, Trevor English on the lead. No one was going to get the big fella. It was similar to Big Cox on the lead. And he'll line up from 35 out directly in front.
It's been a great move, obviously. We've spoken about getting Stephen Martin here, but this is the result. Stephen Martin does all the bullocking work, and Tim English probably rucks for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes a quarter, but he goes forward and he does this. He's got a good pair of hands, and I love the way he leads. He is a natural forward when he leads. He's got really good patterns. He leads up. He's such a beacon, so you see him leading, and everybody comes that gets sucked towards him, and he is a good finisher. He's kicked the goal in both games so far, and this is the cherry on top.
He's a 50% up from the set shot game. And here he is with one from dead in front, 35 metres out. No problems, as Brownie suggested. He kicks one, 5-2, 32 to the Kangas, 2-2-14 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Just get the feeling they're starting to get a hold of this a little.
Yeah, you spoke about the numbers around the footy, BT. It's a bit of a tactical battle going on. We know the Western Bulldogs like to bring up a half forward or two around the ball. That's their go. They have a lot of midfielders playing in different positions and they bring them up around the ball. Well, the Kangaroos are doing the same with their front half. They're bringing up 2 half forwards around the stoppage as well to try and match the Western Bulldogs. So that's why we've got a lot of numbers around the ball. The Kangaroos are trying to get Jared Pollock as the free defender. I'm not sure if that's the right man you want to be as the free defender. He had a chance to chop that ball off in front of Tim English. He didn't go hard enough, allowed English to drift to front, and that's why they got that goal. So just a bit of a tactical battle going on with the two coaches.
And the Bulldogs have had 10 out of the last 14 inside 50s for Red Z.
Game number 50 for Timmy English. Listed 103 kilos, so he's put on some weight over the last couple of years. He's skinny operator when he came to the big time Bontempelli. Clever to Treloar, takes a bounce, he's got a man on his hammer. Treloar hits 55 with a long loping ball, gets out in front of Bruce. Does well to keep it in, does Josh Bruce. Kicked 3 in the first term. Whistle on play, where's it going? Going the way of the Kangaroos against Bruce. And it'll go the way of Walker in the back pocket.
Josh Walker. Has he given up? Has he given up on the plugs, the one to Brownie? Josh, they seem to have slowed up a bit. I don't know whether he's off it. Uniac, fight for the ball at ground level, not really going anywhere at the moment. Scott was involved for the Kangas, went over the bound. Down to you, Tom Brown.
Brownie mentioned Pollock playing as a loose defender for North. He's actually being inspected at the moment by the physio and the doctor, having a pretty detailed conversation. He doesn't look like he's in pain, but there's something that's clearly concerning him, possibly a hip or something. I'll keep an eye on it.
Bob Jane T-Marts, book a free Bob Jane T-Marts tyre safety check today. Keep your family safe on the road this Easter.
Treloar doesn't get a handle on it. Anderson, clever little hand pass, got away from Bailey Scott. Bailey Smith coming back the other way. Well, Bailey's out there. 3 for the Dogs, 1 for the Roo Boys. Bailey's everywhere. Liberatore works hard. Simpkin cuts off that little paddle. Goes short round the corner to Cunnington. How's he going, Chewy?
Disposal number 6.
Okay, who's had the most on the ground so far? To give us some context, Ash.
Jed Anderson with 10 touches.
Okay, handball to Scott. This is of the Kangaroos. Kick out wide is impressive. Finds an opportunity with Powell. He drives long, and it's a beautifully placed kick to Larkey. He dropped the chest mark, got unsighted, picked up the ball, had a snap kick that didn't matter. Difficult snap, by the way. Larkey, 3-2-20. Dogs, 5-2-32. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Well, that's why if you are a Kangaroo supporter, you still want to come and watch your side play. You want to see some young talent. It was Bailey Scott involved in the middle of the ground, got it to young Tom Powell, whose kick was an absolute beauty over the top to Larkey. He should have taken the chest mark. He dropped it. He mopped up his own work. But there are 3 players of the future for the Kangaroos working together to get that goal. That's why you still come and support your side.
Joe Montagna, Nathan Brown and Triple M Seabus super special comments. Room hot water built tough Aussie conditions with the latest technology when it comes to water heating. Install the room. What are you seeing on the Red Zeds, Chewy?
Yeah, and those youngsters for North, Tom Powell, 6 disposals, and Will Phillips, he's picked up 5 as well.
Good finish from Larkey. Pretty skillful for a big man, Noodles.
He is, and he won the goal kicking a couple of years ago in the 2, so he is a talent.
Cunnington, shorts, hanging low. Pierces the ball forward. Caleb Daniel, helmet on. gets away from him. Lazaro does well at ground level. He's got Jed Anderson clear. Couldn't manage to quite clear the contest. Bontempelli goes straight up to Law's head. Falls to Cunnington. Hurried snap out of the pack. He just sneaks through for one behind. The Dogs are 5-2-32. The Kangaroos are 3-3-21, trailing by 11 points. That's all on your Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon Lighting stores. Here's Brian Taylor.
Goal apiece in the second quarter. Daniel spears the ball back into Keith from the kick in. Slips over, still got rid of a nice handball out wide of Joe Anderson. He's able to run his full journey and then kick long to half forward to a one-on-one with Bruce. Bruce, a little nudge getting Walker under the footy. Got the handball wide to English, but he was always gobbled up the moment he got it by Young. Young read it like a book. Spills out. Goldstein did well with the ricochet. Got a little handball here to Attlee. Wrong-footed on his right with a magnificent kick. Finds Phillips. He drops the mark.
We'll try and make up for it here. Will Phillips. Gee, it was a good kick on the left to come out in that direction. Now Bailey Williams uses his body to Treloar. Just gets it inside 50s. He'll send it out the other way. Real short ball to Simpkin. Covered about 8 metres. Now Anderson. He got a bit of space in the middle of the ground. Hall loops a hand pass to Lazaro. He's got green grass in front of him. Goes to Larkey! One-on-one. That's why we come to the footy. He got to the side of Keith. And Larkey should kick his second in the space of 3 minutes.
I don't want to harp on it, but how much better do the Kangaroos look when they take the game on through the middle of the ground? They tried it with Attlee first, and they dropped the footy, and then they went back through the middle, and they just opened the Bulldogs up, and then you get the one-on-one like this. Larkey going back, putting Keith under pressure. He was going to give away a free kick if he didn't take the mark. That's what going through the middle does. It puts pressure on the defenders at the other end.
37 goals, 10 career set shots for Nick Larkey. Shouldn't have too many problems here. Really bring the Roo boys back into it. He nails it and gets a bit excited. His teammates come around him. He's got 2 in a row, and all of a sudden, the margin, it was 12 points at quarter time the way of the Dogs, is narrowed back to a 5-point Western Bulldogs margin, 5-2 to 4-3 on your Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Nice game of footy.
Yeah, good game of footy, and the way they're getting their goals, the Kangaroos, as we said, they're getting a lot of numbers high up around the ball, but now that they are moving it a little bit quicker, as Brownie said, they're able to get out the back of the Western Bulldogs, because we know they're a defence that like to play in front, they like to zone off, and when you do move it quick and come through the corridor, you can get that kick over the top, and the last 2 times it's been Larkey who's got behind the defenders and been able to get in a good spot.
Tom, is the medical sub being activated for Kangas?
Yeah, Kyron Hayden has just taken his training top off and he looks ready to come on and has been warming up, BT, so I would think that's potentially Pollock, but I'll keep a close eye.
Is Pollock on the bench now or not?
No, he's not.
So he can't be that injured if he's still out there, can he?
A review here. They're saying it might have the snicko, might have hit the post, but I think the umpire's waiting, which they don't normally do.
No. So you're right, Brownie. Normally, as a matter of course, every goal is reviewed, and if it's not a decision by the time they bounce it, so this is going to come back. Larkey's going to have the goal removed, and this is going to be a behind.
They don't normally wait though, Brian.
No,
they normally get there, and if the time's over, then they bounce it. But on this occasion, they've spoken to the umpire, and he's reacted, and Kangaroos are a little bit stiff.
So it's been changed. It's officially a point now, which means Caleb Daniel will kick it in from fullback. We've got things happening everywhere, as Tom Brown just reported for Bob Jane Team Arts. Hayden is ready to come on. That will mean both subs activated. English big mark over the top. Great grab by the big ruckman on half-back.
Starting to take more contested marks to English. The fact that he's resting forward, it gives him a lot more energy when he's playing up on the ball. We saw that in round 1. He outmarked Grundy a couple of times contested.
Genuine hanger for the man in game number 50. Norton works his man under the footy. Tries to push it forward. Liberatore, they wobble the ball inside 50 towards Bruce, who kicked 3 in the first term. He's hassled away by Walker. Puts Simpkin under pressure with his hand pass. Got an issue here, Jai Simpkin. I don't think he had prior. He did! So who's he going to go to? Will they give it to Bruce, who applied the tackle? There was 2 applied at the same time. Bob Jane, Tommy Brown.
Howie, I mentioned Pollock. So Pollock had his left hamstring treated by the doctor and the physio. He's been subbed out. He's out the back of the bench. And Kyron Hayden's been officially activated for North. So both sides now have activated a medical sub.
Thank you, mate. So Josh Bruce does get the kick for goal. Is he going to go around the body from tight angle city side 35, Nate, or is he going drop punt style?
I think he might either go drop punt, but he might go the banana from here, Josh Bruce.
He's kicked free, the big boy. This to really spark things up. Goes a big check side. It's not a bad effort. Hits the post on the near side. Josh Bruce has got 3-2. 11-point margin, 33-22, the way of the Dogs on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. We've got 11 and a fair bit to go before half-time.
Jeez, that would have been a big turnaround. A goal deducted off North Melbourne and the Bulldogs kicking one at the other end would have changed the complexion of the game. And now an interception off the kick of Young. And the mark has been taken very, very wide by Lipinski. Lipinski will line up from 45 metres out. A little less angle than what Bruce had to deal with a moment ago, but similar spot.
Just an unforced error there by Lewis Young, just a poor kick. This man is a beautiful kick, Lipinski.
Right in front of the still scoreboard. Any of you guys ever owned a chainsaw?
Nope.
No. All bookwork people. Lipinski comes in, nails the goal. Beautiful kick by Lipinski. And the Dogs able to turn it around with back-to-back goals here now. 6-3-39 to the Kangas 3-4-22 on the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
My father used to make me use one, Brian, when we were out.
Were you scared of it?
Terrified of the thing.
Yeah, they can cut you open.
Right.
It's terrifying.
Normally, if I've got any of that sort of work to do, Brian, it's just like Jim's chainsawing.
Right.
I just bought a house that's got a lot of hedging to do, but I was probably going to do the same, hire someone to do it for me.
And neither of you guys have ever cut down a tree?
No.
Or have you dug a hole? No, Jesus.
Hi, Brian.
We are not working with real people, Howard.
No, you're right. We lost touch with reality, the modern AFL footballer. What do you got in the back row, boys?
It's easier just to pay people these days to do all those things, BT.
Yes.
But he's a nice finish. Lipinski, of course, he came on as the medical sub. We thought he was a bit stiff not to be in the starting 22 anyway, because he is such a beautiful kick, and it was on full display just there.
Done much fencing with the old star pickets and wire, Brian?
Yeah, plenty. Kilometres of it, Howard.
Yeah, terrible job that one as well. Stevenson bangs it to the outer side. Hunter tracks back, loops it out. Anderson applies a strong tackle, too strong, in fact, on Johannesson.
Ever used a post hole rammer and digger?
Yes, use those too, Brian.
500 kilo hammer.
No, Howard, you have not.
No, I haven't.
Pass yourself off for some sort of workhorse.
Have you ever had to take the horns off the cows, Brian?
Oh, yeah.
That is a nasty
With the nail clippers. I mean, come on, Howie.
that is nasty.
Long ball going forward. Just a lull in play as a result of the fencing program that's going on here. Zeeble, little handball sideways to Stevenson. Stevenson kicks down the line here. High ball. Free kick's been paid. Anderson was there. It'll go to the Kangas as they try and muscle the ball into the middle of the ground. And they've turned it over here. Now an opportunity for Stevenson of North Melbourne to tidy it up. The kick as he was tackled in the middle of the ground was not good for Cunnington, and Bailey Dale takes a sliding diving mark just back into the centre circle. The Dogs are going to reel and go. Bailey Dale out wide sees Giray. Now Giray's taken the mark right on the logo on the wing.
Giray goes back and centres it. You're always very suspicious of people that have had experience in life, Nathan, as opposed to you who just got drafted and played football and that's about it.
You need to go to life school.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly my point, Brian. Very sheltered existence, Nathan Brown.
Never dug a hole.
Nope.
Jeez.
Nice mark taken by Lucky Young. He's turned it straight over though. Come back the other way. McNeil made a mess of it. Jeez, he could have made him pay then. Sneaks through for one behind. The Dogs are 39. The Kangas are 22. Join the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
He never threw any money in a bag and wrapped it in lead and buried it or anything like that.
Not in the backyard, Brian.
Right. Zerha in the back pocket here. Goes very wide, and it was a good attempt by Giray to knock the ball to the boundary, and he's successful in doing so. 22-point lead with the Dogs. Sort of approaching half-time. 9 minutes to go in the quarter. Really good crowd in here on a Good Friday afternoon. Royal Children's Hospital appeal today. Remember to get involved in that. Libba round the corner, high footy, very high footy. A lot of players there. Punched away by Mackay. Norton off the ground. Missed it. There was no one between he and the goal, and he was 4 metres out. Socketed it through for a behind. 22 plays 41. And the Dogs are in charge on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
I reckon he cost himself by not kicking that on his opposite side then, because the ball then came into the instep. He had a perfect opportunity on his right foot, but just felt like he needed to balance up, sock it off the ground on his left, and the ball bounced the wrong way.
Zeeble drives a long ball to the near flank. Comes out to Bailey Dale. They don't argue. Works out nicely to McRae. 1-2 from Dunkley. McRae's got a bit of space. He's got men inboard. And they do that now to Easton Wood. And comes to Johannesson. Bit of room to move for the Norm Smith medalist. An awkward looking kick inside 50. Oh, the Kangaroos spoil each other. Mackay's there to make things okay. Young, Anderson, Zerha, Goldstein, short back, and hit Zeeble. What about a haystack, Brian? You built a haystack?
Yes, haystack, done all that. Mickey Roberts has just texted in from down there at Windy Flinders and said he's using the chainsaw now.
That's it.
Why don't I believe that?
Yep.
He wouldn't know how to turn it on.
More into the injectables than the chainsaw, I reckon.
Stevenson, high ball, up they fly. Knocked down here on this occasion by Williams.
How's he hearing the radio? He's got a chainsaw
That's
on.
what I just thought, Brownie. How's he listening?
It's a good point. I think he just...
he's got feet up, just having a nice Pinot down there, Robbo.
It's what I call a shiny. Everything in his workshop is just shiny. It never gets used. He just looks at it and says, I am the Marlboro man. There's Dale. Got the little handball here to Treloar. He runs away from the stoppage. Little left foot kick. Beautiful to Bruce on the lead. Perfect footy. Bruce will line up from 40.
That's what they're so good at, the Bulldogs, and this is why midfields study them and try and stop their run and carry, because if they win the ball at the stoppage, they just back each other in and they run and carry. Look at that, there's a wave of three of them running and just gut running, and Josh Bruce just took off. He knew they'd won that footy and he took off that half second before his opponent, and that's all you need. You only need half a step ahead of your opponent.
So here is Bruce. Relatively easy set shot. He's got to get right through it with the distance. Kicking from 45, he does. Looks good. It is good. Bruce has got 4 goals. The half's yet to be completed and he's got 4 goals. This will do his confidence the world of good. 3-4-22 to the Dogs. 7-5-47. Triple M scoreboard.
Yeah, he's an important link in this side now. If he can continue to play like that, allows Norton to fly for the big balls, Tim English to drift forward. But as Brownie said, they won that stoppage, and because it was a clean exit, even though the Kangaroos had a spare defender, it was Zerha that was spare inside 50. Bruce was able to get to the open side of the field. It was a good kick on the opposite from Treloar, and it didn't matter that the Kangaroos had the extra defender.
Joe Montagna, Nathan Brown, the boys with a nice smooth hands in the back row. Just seeing Bruce kick his 4th on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. Purchase with 60 months interest free at Harvey Norman. Receive a bonus gift card. That's a nice deal. Conditions apply. What do you like, Chewy Red Z stuff?
Yeah, Bulldogs have won 6 out of the last 8 clearances, Howie.
Okay, game high is it, Chew, 25?
Game high, spot on.
Steph Martin, what an inclusion he's been. Come down from Brisbane Town, doing it nicely. Liberatore, quick hands. Martin, Treloar, hits 50. Treloar, low, hard and accurate. The Dogs are up the chain at Marvel now. On Easter Friday, they've kicked the last 3 on the trot, and she's out now, 8-5-53 to the Kangas 3-4-22, blown out to 31 points in the blink of an eye. That's all on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Played on the wing for the first 2 games, Adam Treloar, and I thought he looked lost. I thought he looked like a player and played out there often because he's so good on the inside and he gets the footy and he runs and carries. That last one, he was involved in a stoppage and he ran and delivered the footy to Josh Bruce. On that occasion, it's the first centre bounce I've seen him take just about this year. He might have been in a couple here and there that I haven't seen, but he is so good at exploding away and reading his teammates in close. And he got on the end of that perfectly and kicked the goal.
What about the handball feature they had a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
It's back big time this year, isn't it? Who was that that had the fast release in the Libber, I think, in the middle?
Yeah,
Superb.
Libber again. I think it was Treloar's first goal as a Bulldog as well. That's why they all got around him.
Okay, we missed that. Thanks, Joey. Joey just reminding us that, good commentators normally get all that sort of stuff in. Little handball out the back. This is what I mean about the little knives and a bit of salt and pepper on it.
Might add something to what you said to him about his call last night, Brian.
Keith, no, it was good, Joey, please. Handball comes the Kangas' way. They attack, but they don't know what to do. Larkey was caught with the footy, stripped away. Dogs cough it up. They give it straight to Hall. Comes back to Davies Uniac. Round the corner, difficult kick. Larkey couldn't go hold the mark. Daniels now hovering over the top. Will need to knock it out or he'll get pinned. He does now to McRae. Might have been Dunkley. It was Dunkley. G. Bonampelli. How many times he had it, Ash? Don't seem to have caught him a lot.
Only 4 touches.
That's why. Dunkley now high ball. Looking for English. The meat and the sandwich there between 2 Kangas. Little handball comes. Here they go again, the Dogs. Good tackle, Zerha. Really, really good tackle, Zerha on Scott, and he wins the free on half back.
What are Zerha's numbers, Stu?
He's had 10 touches, Howie.
How's he going, Noodles?
He's playing more behind the ball. Sorry, Howie. He's playing more in the back half this quarter, which is a bit different for him.
Some big shorts on as Cameron Zerha.
Come out, Tim.
Number 44. Kangaroos. Back to Zurha. He's got it on his defensive 50 now, unloads with a 60-metre ball down the line. Easton Wood used his body, used it nicely.
Welcome back, Easton Wood. Is this his first game this year, Ash?
It is, BT.
Thank you, Ash. As they spread the ball, Bailey Dale, really good player, took a bounce from half-back. She needs to get this over the head of Walker. Dunkley crashed into him, but Walker stood very strong and marked right on the wing. Good stuff by Walker because Dunkley was coming at pace. And a 50-metre penalty.
So Zeeble ran around behind Walker. He went one way. Lipinski couldn't go with him, so peeled off the other side of the mark. And that's where they get you, the umpires.
Was it Vandermeer or Lipinski? I think it might have been Vandermeer. I don't like to correct you, Joey, but Walker. But I just feel I've got to. 22 plays 50.
Are we hearing the preview about white-handing, Brownie?
Yeah.
Just start
the Saturday thing.
Slide into the call now, isn't it?
Either one of us could have been right, Joey. Walker. In he comes from 40. Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, dear.
Oh, way off outside the right boot. They fly high and the mark is taken in the end by the Bulldogs in the last line of defence, Keith. So Keith just a little chip sideways, likes to give it off, finds Bailey Williams, who's told to go in the back pocket.
Gets himself into trouble. Taron Thomas runs him down and manages to send the ball across the line. And the Kangaroos deep in attack. 5 to go for the major break.
I think it was Lipinski. Howie, Vandermeer's on the bench at the moment.
Ooh, right on.
He came off at that incident there, Joey, because it happened right in front of him.
A bit of dispute about who's right.
I think he might have ran too close to the mark as he was coming off.
Snap round the corner from Marnie. Trelaw tracks back defensively. Jed Anderson, can he get the ball to boot? He can't. He's tackled as things just start to unravel on Easter Friday on the M's.
I won't have it.
Never the most supportive work environment when you work for this radio station.
No, ball up. Any chance, any opportunity. It's on Dale. Daniel with the biggest sell of candy you've ever seen by foot. Brings it back now to Smith, who's got it all to do. And he does it really well. Got the handball out there to Dunkley. Back to Bailey Smith. Drilling ball up to half forward. Martin was pushed out of the way by Goldstein. Spills to Zurha. Short little kick by Zurha. Finds Powell. Powell slow with it here on the wing. Took a while to get rid of it. A long while. Kicks high and put it down the throat of Dunkley, who just swats it back. Now Marnie's got it for the Kangas, so they keep coming, but they've only kicked the 3 goals, Davies. Uniac, handball was smothered by Dunkley. Daniel got it in there to Smith again. Trelaw, back to Dunkley. Dunkley, little handball, back to Caleb Daniel. Back to McRae, back to Daniel. Handball in a triangle here. Back to McRae, went nowhere. Had 5 possessions in a 10-metre area. And it results in a boundary throw in the Dogs.
Let's look at the Triple M Harvey on the replay screen here. I know that McRae tries to kick this footy, but he completely misses it. He's tackled off the footy, and it should be holding the ball.
Gee, man, when you get an opportunity, just tell us who's spending the most time on Bontempelli and what his numbers are. So it's the man that's come on as the sub, Hayden. Injury sub.
Yeah, 20. It's Jed. He's had 5 disposals. Bontempelli. Jed Anderson has clearly played the most amount of game time on him. Howie,
was he tagging him, Brownie, or it's not really?
He's not tagging him. He's obviously paying some attention, but it's not a lockdown tag. Anderson's trying to get the football himself.
Bailey Smith has no problem getting the footy. Oh, Josh Bruce, he's kicked 4, Brian. He looks strong and powerful up and about.
He does, and he loops this one over the top. But Zurha, if it weren't for him on half-back as he knocks that one to the boundary, at the moment defending, they'd be in a bit of bother. And he's running around. He collected a few high fives then, probably a few too many for a spoil. Boundary throw-in. English doing the right work with Goldstein. Pretty even contest. Little handball came to Anderson. His handball was smothered by Trelaw. Went back and got it here. On this occasion, Anderson involved again. Bailey Smith handball. Trelaw, English, fast hands. Finishes with Wood. Took a few on. Bailey Williams it was. Got around 2. Gave the handball off. Trelaw from 35 closing. Got it. Superb play. Superior hands. Trelaw gets his second. Dogs get their 5th of the quarter, 5 goals to 1, 9-5-59 to the Kangas 3-4-22 on the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Now, the risk now, the Kangaroos, because as you call BT, they're not scoring. They've only got 3 goals just before half-time. They went back to 6 forwards at that stoppage. They thought, well, we need to kick some goals now that we're 4 or 5 goals behind, which just allowed the Western Bulldogs to do what they do so well and win the ball at the stoppage. It was Treloar that was in at that stoppage that flicked the handball out. He continued to run on. It was Bailey Williams' good play and the finish from Treloar. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you're David Noble, Brownie, you bring numbers up around the ball, but you're not going to score. If you hold your forwards, well, we know the Western Bulldogs are so good around the stoppages.
Triple M Red Z lending stats. Davies, Uniacke and Simkin, they had 12 disposals combined in the first quarter, only 5 in this second term. Davies Uniacke starts first quarters off very well this season, 44% of his disposals won in that particular term.
Gee, man, just starting to show a bit of bias and putting a few Kangaroos right in the gun. It's a bit snipey when they get rolled, the two-man. Johannesen runs to the near side. Goes short to Lipinski. And it is definitely Lipinski. Bailey Dale now. He wants to go on that 45, which we see so much in footy this season. It really opens up the game to Treloar. Is he having a quarter? A couple of goals. Drives it forward to Bruce. Well done by Walker. Brought it to ground. Mackay. Goldstein. His handball's there and his problems. The Bulldogs are going to come back the other way. A hurried shot at goal from Dunkley. Would have been 5 in a row, but he missed it. 60 plays 22. The way the Dogs, we've got 1:42 to go before half-time. That's all the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Zeeble to bang it back into play. Lets it go the short ball into the pocket to Atley. Told to play on, wasn't the required journey, so Atley just hoists the ball to the point of the square at half-back, and English is going to send it back. When's it come from? He takes the mark. The big fella, here comes the lead of Norton, puts it out in front of him, a little high for him, and Zeeble just edges him under the footy. Clever. Short kick finds Davies Uniacke. Centering ball to Goldstein. The run of Hayden. A high chipping iron by Hayden out in front of Phillips. Needs to run on it here, Scott. Couldn't. Dogs equal to the task. Handball back to Dunkley. Superb last week and growing again this week, Howie.
How good are they, the Dogs, Brownie?
They're outstanding at the moment, Howard. They're playing probably one of the bottom 2 sides in the competition. They started slowly, but their run and carry is outstanding. Still, for the amount of shots ball they get inside forward 50, I'd like to see them convert more to be in the top echelon of sides.
Could you see them top 4 come season's end? Only small sample size.
I reckon they're the 3rd best team in the comp at the moment, behind Richmond and Port.
I'm with you, Joey.
No.
They have played West Coast, and who was the other one?
Collingwood, yeah.
Yep. Brian, that game last week against West Coast, as good a game as we've seen for a long time.
I think Brandy's underestimating them, if you like. I don't like to say that about ours.
There's still a bit of disharmony after he left the club for money between Brownie and the Bulldogs, and it sort of still festers away 20 years later, Brian. It's unfortunate, but it's a bit of a KB-style scenario.
It was a sudden exit.
Yep.
Hayden kicks it out of bounds on the full after waiting 3 minutes to kick it. So the free kick will go with Bontempelli. He finds Daniel. Just his 5th touch, I think. Bontempelli. Siren sounds. So in that quarter, a 5-goal to 1 quarter in favour of the Dogs opened the game right up. No doubt about it. And at half-time here, the Western Bulldogs lead 9-6-60 to the Kangas 3-4-22. And that is on the Beacon Trade scoreboard. After the break, Joey and Nate, along with the two-man, are going to rip this one to bits. Howie will be back to entertain you as well. I'll take a break. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rock Football.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
New to Triple M breakfast in 2021. Mighty Sheer Gold.
North are on fire. They've never played better football. My quote in the office is, North will not win a game this year.
Oh, you think?
I can't see who they're going to beat.
Someone will take the foot off the pedal, an Adelaide or an Essendon.
But you'd have to take the foot off the team bus pedal and not turn up.
It could happen.
The Marty Sheargold Show. New to Triple M. Weekdays from 6.
Here if you need.
Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app.
Be part of the winning team with the best EBAs in the construction industry and world's best safety record. Hi, I'm John Setka, and the CFMEU is your union who fights, and fights hard to win for you. So empower yourself and join over 30,000 members. We are one of the fastest growing and most prominent unions in Victoria. With a strong history of fighting to win, your union won't stop fighting to secure your future.
So don't get left behind. Join us at the CFMEU Victoria.
When there's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to book a half-off flight, you don't go on a half-hearted holiday. You go for a full-on snorkel. Find a full-on rainforest or see some full-on views. And always find time for a full-on bite to eat. So come on Australia. With half-off select flights, plan your full-on holiday at australia.com. Book with your airline or travel agent of choice before tickets sell out. Terms and conditions apply.
Goodyear Auto Care's Easter Treats. Buy selected Goodyear Wrangler SUV and 4x4 tyres and get up to $100 off. That's an excellent deal. Call 132343. With Goodyear Auto Care, you're good to go. Ends April 30. Conditions apply.
Hey guys, it's Jess Eva here. This Easter weekend, Norm and I have made the plan to join Australia's biggest ever DIY working bee with Bunnings Warehouse. We'll be flat out painting our studio and you can follow our progress on our socials all weekend. Even better, why not make your own plan to tackle that DIY job that you've been putting off at your place? There's still plenty of long weekend left to get amongst it. Come on, join us to be part of Australia's biggest ever DIY working bee with Bunnings Warehouse.
Problem. There's 8 mates.
Mate.
Mate.
Mate. Mate.
And a 6-pack has only, 6 beers. Solution, the new Mate Pack 8-pack from Brick Lane. 8 cans of Brick Lane Draft in one easy-to-grab pack. In IGA celebrations and bottle shops. Drink responsibly.
Overseas travel is on hold, so now's the time to explore your own backyard. Supreme and Leader Caravans Craigieburn are the caravan specialist. It's a one-stop shop for new and used caravans, parts and accessories. Supreme and Leader Caravans take care of service and repairs too. Take advantage of the great deals on offer and secure your home away from home today. Check out the extensive range at Supreme and Leader Caravans on the Hume Highway at Craigieburn or visit supremecaravans.com.au.
At IGA, you'll find everything you need to celebrate Easter your way, like Australian boneless pork leg roast $10.99 per kilo and Australian extra large tiger prawns $28.99 per kilo. Now at your local IGA. Offer ends April 6. Participating stores only.
We are making a song and dance about Mondays. It's Meerkat Mondays. Now Mondays aren't so bleak. At Compares the Market, there's surprises every week.
Surprises? What surprises?
To find out, go to comparethemarket.com.au/Meerkat Mondays.
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Bosch Power Tools and Accessories. Good, better, Bosch.
Half-time here at Marble Stadium. Dogs doing it easy. Keep the last 4 of the term. They lead by 38 points up, leading by 12 points at half-time. The Doggies 9-6-60. The Roo Boys 3-4-22. The Dogs lead by 38. Trelaw kicked the last 2 goals of the term. Big Joshy Bruce has got 4. But don't worry about footy. Far more important things to discuss than football today. Obviously, the big appeal today. You can get your money involved. Text 1300 appeal or jump on goodfridayappeal.com.au. That's goodfridayappeal.com.au. We spoke to Chris Grant earlier on. He told us about his young bloke, spent time in the Royal Children's Hospital as a 6-day-old and just what effect that had on him and his family, and they were able to sort things out. And we're very, very lucky to have Emily and Jack with us in the box. Emily looks a little bit nervous, but there's nothing to be nervous about. Emily, how are you going?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Great to see you. Tell us a little bit about your family and Jack and your situation and what a day like this means to you.
Okay, so Jack is 14. He was born with an undiagnosed heart condition. We spent the first 5 to 6 months of his life at the Royal Children's. He had open heart surgery and spent our first Christmas at the kids. He has a very rare genetic condition, so he's got affected vision, he's got a heart condition, he's profoundly deaf, non-verbal. The Children's has been a part of our life for 14 years. We spend we're there at least 2 to 4 times a month. Numerous surgeries, numerous clinics, specialists, allied health team. They're just a huge part of our life. And today is a huge day for our family. I've got 2 other children, Ruby and Max. They know how important the Good Friday appeal is. It's a day where we really feel grateful for what we have in Melbourne, the facility, how much they do for the kids in the area, interstate. I just really urge people to donate today because you never know when you're going to need it. And, you know, there's so many stories like ours.
GoodFridayAppeal.com.au. We're all fathers in this box. The boys in the back row. Nate's got 4 kids. Joey's got kids. I've got a couple. Two-Man's got kids as well. And obviously you've got a family with 3 kids from what you've told us. How do you keep things on track when Jack needs so much care and support? How do you just keep moving forward, Em?
I guess it's our normal, you know, like the children's having a child with special needs. It's a part of our life. It's our normal. My kids don't know any different. Jack and Ruby learnt Auslan before they could speak. They are the most empathetic children. They are so kind and considerate. And that's all because of Jack. And they actually love going to the children's. They look at it like a day out, you know, the meerkats, the aquarium, you know, McDonald's. You know, there's so many great things for the kids. And, you know, I guess I don't think of my family as, you know, remarkable because that's just our life, you know. So, I'm really grateful that I have Jack because he's made me appreciate things so much more.
In what way?
Just the little things. You know, he's learning to ride a bike where we've been put in contact with a company out in Abbotsford called Freedom Wheels, and they modify kids' bikes, so kids with disabilities can ride a bike. We went out there a couple of weeks ago, and just to see Jack pushing the pedals over and, you know, being able to have the wind in his hair is the most simplest thing, you know. Jack loves Easter. He loves Easter eggs. You know, he's not really supposed to eat them, but, you know, the other day a friend of mine dropped off some Easter eggs and he ate the whole lot, you know. So it's just the simplest things. And, you know, I think people take today for granted. You know, it's a day off. But it just means so much. And, you know, today, you know, what the AFL does, kick for the kids, North Melbourne, Western Bulldogs, it's just amazing, you know. And I feel really proud to be a part of it today. So...
The kick for the kids is on at the moment. It's Brad Johnson versus Boomer Harvey. Boomer's trying to rack up 15 possessions before he has his kick, so keep an eye on that one. You mentioned it's such an important day for your family, Em. What does it mean to you, the support you get from the Children's Hospital? I guess life would almost be impossible without it from what you've described.
It would. And look, I consider it my safe place. You know, if Jack is really unwell, as soon as I walk through the door, I feel better. Because they know him so well, they know his history. You know, it's a really important part of our life, and it's really hard to describe, you know, the feeling. It's, you know, we wouldn't be able to be a functioning family without it.
The fact you described it as your safe place, I think, is a wonderful description.
When you hear the term heart condition and they don't know what it is, I mean, and you spend 6 months at a hospital, obviously you yourself have to put whatever you're doing on hold because you said you were there for the next 6 months. Tell me what that's like as a parent to have to, first of all, because you're going to do that for your kid anyway, no matter what, but you are putting everything else on hold to be there for 6 months to care.
Yeah, look, that initial time in our life, Jack was really sick. We didn't think he was going to make it, and, you know, every day with him was so precious. In that time, my husband was working and he still had to work. And, you know, I felt like I was working at the Children's because I was there from the morning to the evening, be there constantly, staying at Ronald McDonald House. Just being at the hospital was so important. But life does go on, you know, and it's such a juggle. And I know that even in recent times when Jack's had admissions, life still goes on. You still need to work. You still need to get the kids to school. Just recently, my youngest had his first day in primary school and Jack was in hospital. He was unwell and he'd had an admission. First week of primary school, I had to, you know, juggle, get there, be that mum, first day of school with Max, you know, and, you know, leave Jack at the hospital just to do other stuff, But my kids know that. My kids know that, when Jackie's sick, he's in the hospital, he's being looked after, he's okay, and, they've had a very different childhood because of Jack, but they're good kids for it.
And Emily, can you describe the staff that work at the Royal Children's Hospital for us? Because I'm sure that not only are they just the doctors, but I'm sure with all the time you've spent there, they've probably become closer than that. Just a few words on the staff that do remarkable things at the hospital.
The staff are amazing. We are under a number of teams, and they're, so good. The care that they show, they go over and beyond, their bedside manner is amazing, they're like therapists as well as doctors, you tell them your problem, oh God, cry your guts out to them, when you're having a bad day, but they're amazing people, and, it takes really special people to look after sick kids.
Emily, you came in here with a few nerves. You've dominated. There's probably a job for you in the back row in the second half for special comments rather than the two clowns we've got work today. Best of luck. Thanks for coming and sharing your story.
Thank you.
Jack's story. Enjoy the footy.
Thank you.
Again, Good Friday appeal.com.au or 1300 appeal. Em, thanks for sharing your story. Have a wonderful Easter.
Thank you.
Go easy on the Easter eggs.
Yep, thanks.
Great to speak to Emily, who's got 3 kids and is indebted to the Royal Children's Hospital. This is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools. Bosch Power Tools and accessories. Good, better Bosch. It is the Kangaroos trailing by 38 points at halftime. Chewy will tell you what his Kangaroos are going to do in the second half very shortly. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Thanks to Em and Jack. Triple M Rocks Footy.
That halftime break for Bosch Power Tools and accessories. Good, better Bosch.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M Rocks Footy.
G'day, I'm Dave. I'm a Boilermaker from Geelong.
So, Dave, what do you love about Triple M?
Oh, just Barney Seagull to start with. I think he's so funny. I've always found him funny. You'd think you'd walk up to him in a pub and he'd just talk to you. It's the same as you hear him on the radio.
Nailed it, Dave. Tell us about the rock on Triple M.
Well, music I like to listen to. Midnight Oil, The Angels, Foo Fighters, love the Phillies, Led Zeppelin.
Hey, Dave, thanks for being part of the Triple M family.
Yeah, it's just great.
Triple M, rockin' Melbourne.
On the hunt for the perfect drinks this Easter? That calls for celebrations. Long weekend away? That calls for a 10-pack of Jack Daniels and Cola, $40. Celebrating with the family? That calls for a 24-pack of Carlton Dry, $45. Or a lazy Sunday lunch? Well, now that calls for a bottle of Chandon Brut, $22. Whatever you're doing this Easter, that calls for celebrations.
It's a celebration.
Drink responsibly. T's and C's apply. See our website for details. Offers end 28th March.
Visit the Reject Shop for the cheapest snacks and essentials. With 400ml Morning Fresh, just $2. 150-gram bags of Bluebird chips for $2. And 500-gram pasta packs, only 50 cents. The Reject Shop. Cheapest every day.
HCF helps parents manage their little ones' big feelings with free access to online programs supported by child psychologists. That's Uncommon Care. Join HCF today on 13 13 34. Must have hospital or extras for 12 months. Other eligibility criteria apply.
G'day, Lawrence Mooney here. It's time to open your ears to a new world of audio on Listener. My show, Moon Man in the Morning, is available Australia-wide as a podcast. Plus, you can wrap your ears around other great comedy podcasts like Hamish and Andy's Remembering Project, and there's an entire station dedicated to yacht rock. That's no joke, just good times.
Listener. Radio, podcasts, music, news. Download the new app and listen for free. Listener.
If you're looking for great deals and extreme prices, look no further than Chemist Warehouse. There's Pantene shampoo and conditioner 900ml range for $6.79 each. Cativa hair straightening kits that straighten hair without ironing. There's the Keratin and Liquid Pearl for extra shine, and Keratin and Kupuasu for extreme care, both $14.99 each. Or Aveeno Daily Moisturising 1 litre, just $12.99 each. Sale ends in 1 week, so get in quick to make the most of these extreme prices. Chemist Warehouse, great savings every day.
This year, MasterChef serving up the best food ever.
When you have that passion to get something absolutely perfect, it blows everyone away. I love it.
MasterChef, coming soon to 10.
It's one of footy's fiercest rivalries. There's been some big moments over the last 3 decades, so get to the MCG this Easter Monday and watch Geelong and Hawthorn lock horns at the home of footy in Melbourne. Cats, Hawks, MCG. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketek. Go Cats!
Catch Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show and more live or on demand on the Listener app.
Hi there, I'm Pip Mooney with a national news briefing. The nation's top medical doctor says it is not yet clear if a blood clotting disorder is linked to the AstraZeneca vaccine. A man suffering blood clots has been hospitalised in Melbourne just days after receiving the COVID jab in what experts say is incredibly rare. Acting Chief Medical Officer Michael Kidd says the TGA is taking it very seriously, but we must look at it in perspective.
The risk of serious disease and death from COVID-19 if we experience another severe outbreak, especially among older Australians and those with severe health conditions, is far greater than the very, very small potential risk of a very rare clotting disorder associated with the vaccine.
In other COVID news, there has been no community transmissions across the nation today, only some cases in hotel quarantine. A rescue operation is underway in Taiwan after a passenger train slammed into a truck which had fallen from a cliff onto the tracks. At least 34 people are feared dead. Canberra is up to 150,000 workers tipped to lose their job. It would work similar to a passport, where we would be forced to submit 100 points of ID, like a driver's licence, when using social media accounts like Facebook or Twitter. The aim is to stamp out anonymous profiles. And if you're heading away for the long weekend, good luck finding a rental car. Hire car companies are dealing with surge capacity.
Tomorrow is Super Cheap Autos Club Day with 30% off everything for Club Plus members. Join up now. Sale starts online today and in-store tomorrow only. Exclusions apply.
Checking Melbourne's weather, sunshine and 29 today, blue skies and 30 is the top tomorrow. Mostly sunny, 22 for Easter Sunday. And get more news and information live on our Listener app. Download now and listen for free.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. It's half-time at Marvel Stadium. Good crowd in. Reasonable game, although North just losing a little bit of touch late in that quarter. 38-point margin in favour of the Western Bulldogs, who are having a superb season so far, heading for their third win, not there just yet. This is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools. Bosch Power Tools and Accessories, good, better, Bosch. We're going to get the stats off Ash in just a moment that matter. Before we do that, though, Amy, who covers clangers, Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy, and here's the first half clanger.
Career high for Josh Bruce in the game of footy, two-man, Red Zed.
Yeah, 6 majors.
Well, he's about to kick his third in the opening 16 minutes of this one. Josh Bruce from directly in front. We've buzzed him because somehow he's missed it. Not sure how. From 15, no angle.
He went on to kick his fourth, but yes, it was a little bit of a clanger from 20 out directly in front. Ash, talk us through all of the Red Z lending stats to half-time, please.
Yeah, BT Bulldogs, 6 more inside 50s, but in that second quarter it was 14-7. They're number one in the comp for handball receives, averaging 92 more than their opposition. Well, they're at plus 42 at the moment. The marks inside 50, they've already racked up 9. North only 4. Remember, North only took 3 marks inside their attacking 50 for the entire game last week. It's been a concern for them. But individually, Josh Bruce, he's the number one ranked player for the Bullies. 8 disposals, 4 marks, 4 majors. He's now kicked 16 goals, 2 from his past 3 against the Roos. Dunkley's picked up 17, had 13 that second term. Daniel 17. Trelaw, he was busy in that second quarter as well with 9 disposals and a couple of majors, has 15 for the game.
What about someone that hasn't had many, Ash, that's a really good player? Not that good players, don't have bad days.
Well, Bontempelli, we spoke about him, didn't we? He's up to 7 possessions. Got a couple late in that second term. And look, for North Melbourne, they've got a few there. Taron Thomas needs to lift with 4. Kane Turner 3. But just Ben Cunnington, BT in closing, 11 disposals and 7 clearances, 5 out of the middle for him.
Right, Ash, for the first time, using up the whole of the halftime segment there with his stats, Red Z lending style. And not allowing Nathan or Joey. This is an example of what can happen if you have an opening. Here's Mark Howard on Triple M footy.
Thank you, Brian. Long way back for the Roo boys. They trail it by 38 points. The Hawks came back from 39 in round 1 against the Bombers. Liberatore extracts it immediately from the middle. And there is Bontempelli. Zeeble spoils him. Take on the tackle. Davis Uniacke, he's gone. It's a good tackle too. Wrapped up by Van der Meer. And easily confused with Lipinski. And Van der Meer, he wants an option inside. It's a piercing ball. Have a look at that. To Bruce, who's kicked 4. Career high 6, Chewy.
Spot on. Through rejuvenated this year. Unbelievable.
Josh
He looked like, and you said, the fact that he was disappointed last year about where he's at, but just a revival. He's refreshed, he's replenished. Howard, is there another R word I can roll with? But he's playing some really good football.
Reliable, hopefully, for Bulldogs fans in front of goal. Kick forward, he missed one from 15 out directly in front. You heard it. It was the clanger. I like Brucey from here. This for a handful, follows through. He's got it, Big Josh. 5, if you don't mind. Early in the second half, he could be on the way to 10, Chewy. The Dogs are 66, the Roos are 22. That is all in the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor proudly independent, proudly local. What's the biggest bag this season, Chew, as Joey gives us some thoughts?
5, mate. Tex Walker, 6 against last week, wasn't it?
I reckon you'll find
7.
I reckon you'll find, Brownie, that there might be a few players that actually bounce back from a poor year last year. I reckon the hub affected a lot of players more than we probably knew at the time. I reckon Brodie Grundy was one, obviously, that struggled in the hub. Josh Bruce was clearly another that we know had his issues in the hub. Taylor Walker might be another one. I think you'll find a lot of guys that maybe had down years last year bounce back because of that situation, that unique situation that not everybody handled.
So was it 5 or 6 or 7?
6 margin. 6
trying to
now.
ascertain
Yes.
that.
Have another crack at it, Ash.
No worries.
Here's Tom Brown for Bob Jane Teamouts.
BT just spoke to the AFL. The latest crowd, 28,500 is their official figure so far, which they're pleased with.
Okay, very similar to last night. Liver out of the middle. Squeeze the trigger. Bruce crashes the pack and destroyed the pack. Split it open. Walker's got to go back and defend against Bonatelli and rushes it through for a behind. So 67 plays 22 on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. Proudly local, proudly independent.
IGA Liquor, they got you covered this footy season. Get your favourite spirits, beers and wine. Head to IGAliquor.com.au to find your nearest store. IGA Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent. Nice work from Cunnington in the middle of the ground. He spots it up at target. This is good. Scott of the Roos sends the ball forward. Is there a nudge by Zerha? Should be a goal. Good work, Caleb Daniel. The little man split 2 Roos open and came in and rushed to behind. Desperation 23 the Roos, the Dogs 67. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Would have been a certain goal to Zerha if he didn't do what you said he did then, Daniel. So great effort by him. So the kick in now from Caleb Daniel from the southern end heading north. Short ball to Bailey. He just got a little bit worried about what he was going to be met with there. Bailey now applying the tackle and just a little concerned. Davies Uniacke shrugs the tackle. Handball too heavy for Hayden. For Hall out wide. And it goes over the line out of bounds. We'll throw it in for the north attacking end zone here. They trail 23-67. Early stages, third quarter. For Ream Hotwater and McDonald's, Triple M rocking football. Off hands McRae, didn't quite get hold of it. Cunnington went and got it. And threw it, and the Bulldogs are out. It comes to Bonham-Pally. He gets a McRae escort down the ground. 3 bounces, 4 bounces, passes the wing. 5 bounces here now for Bonham-Pally. Driving ball wasn't his best. Might work, it was quite accidental. It was very accidental for Bruce. It was off the outside of the boot, but he marks 45 metres out on a real tough angle.
And he's just doing that pretend look inside. Oh, but he will go backwards.
Now goes backwards and finds McRae 53 metres out.
So McRae would like to see Bruce have a shot, and he's too unselfish. And he got 5, Joey.
That's
McRae
right.
plays on, hits 50, a little left foot slider! Touched or marked on the line. Walker's done well.
Feathers.
I think his hair's looking all right. I think you blokes have been a bit harsh on him. He's got the flat top, short back and sides.
Wispy.
Takes a good defensive mark.
Missing patches. Opportunity here for the Kangas.
It is patchy.
Off half back. Long ball. I think it might have been Zerha that fell over. Woods handball stripped away. Spills to Turner. Goes inside 50 without great direction. Keith trapped it on the half volley with his foot. Then goes and picks up the footy. A lot of dogs. A lot of handballs. Gee, they love handballing. And now Easton Wood goes out wide and they do it fast. And the mark is taken by Simpkin. Squaring, centering, ball finds Goldstein. The big fella launches from just forward to the middle. High ball, got to come from behind Larkey. Knocked to the front, Davies Uniacke couldn't pick it up. Bailey Smith come in. Little gimme kick, gobbled up by Taron Thomas. He goes high to the square, in fact hits the behind post, I think. Out of bounds on the fall for the Kangas.
Pick up a $2 McFlurry Macca's loose change menu as part of your Friday night footy feed at Macca's. Macca's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks football. You got Nathan Brown, Joey Montagna, your Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments. delivering consistent long-term return for members. Seabus for all of us. Ball stymied on the outer side of the ground, just punched across the boundary line. Bob Jane, Tommy Brown.
Howie, Jed Anderson just getting some strapping. I'm being a bit mischievous, but during half-time, I did put Adrian Dodoro, the Bombers list manager, in the forward pocket, just keeping a low profile. Do you reckon he keeps a close tab on Josh Dunkley still?
Oh, that's your area, but I think they're still pretty into him, aren't they, Brownie?
I think there's a lot of interest. He was very impressed with Treloar's first half.
Bob Jane, book a free Bob Jane T-Mart tyre safety check today and keep your family safe on the road this Easter. Potential turnover in the middle of the ground. Zeeble prevents that happening. Heart and soul style operator, the Kangaroos captain. Now contested ball. Who's going to win it? Johannesson, Norton, stripped to the footy. Stripped to the footy, don't kick it, Jason, you give it all away. It's paid to Bruce. Thought it was going the other.
Sunday I'll be eating eggs and...
Bruce has got 6 and that's the interest in the game now. Can he get to 10 noodles? Big Josh Bruce, 73-23, 50-point margin, early stages, second half.
Well, if they allow entries as easy as that in the Kangaroos, he's going to get a lot of one-on-one time and he's going to kick a lot of goals at the moment. He's not the biggest mark over the top, Josh Bruce. He probably should have done better in the marking contest, but his player went to ground and then by that stage was just an easy one going inside. But you'd feel this second half, if the trend continues and the amount of inside 50 that the Bulldogs are getting, he could go close to double figures.
Brian, as a big forward, once you've got 6 still with a half to go, do you start to really start tallying it up in your head?
Yes, you count everyone, Howie, because that's how you know you're at 6.
But from here, do you start looking and thinking, right, I can push on to 10 if I'm a touch selfish?
Yes, be selfish would be the advice from everyone in this box,
yes,
I would
correct.
think. Because, as you say, it's one of the remaining highlights of the day for the spectators that are here. It's a rarity, Ash. You might look up and when the last 10 was kicked, there's an opportunity for Cunnington out of the middle. Hunter spills the handball out. He kicks high to their centre half forward, trying to get over the top there. Did Easton Wood, not successful. Williams keeps the ball. Nice little slider, finds Hunter. And he goes wide now to McRae. McRae, a little bit of candy wide. Cunnington pounced on him, still got the kick away. Wasn't what he'd hoped in the end. The mark taken by Walker on half back.
Yeah, Benny Brown was the last player. That was back in round 22. Spot on, Brownie. 2019, 10 majors.
Irony there, Chewy.
Yep.
Ball split to the outer side off the boot of Lockie Young. Spent some time at the Bulldogs himself. Turner.
It's a hard thing to do to kick 5 or 6, but...
Is it irony or is it just a coincidence?
What about 10, Brian? Did you kick bags of 10?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I kicked 6 1/4, but
did you?
Not in a half or 3/4.
Okay. What was your biggest bag?
I don't know, Howie. Lots.
Brian, what was your biggest bag?
I've forgotten I played, Howie.
Okay. We need to get the two man to just refresh Brian's memory there. Star of his day. Lockie Hunter goes short. Dunkley kicks it a little bit high. Might work out. No, a couple of Bulldogs get confused. One was Bontempelli. Now Marnie. Davies Uniac tries to step a tackle. Hall. Queuing up on the outer side here, the Kangaroos. This is better. Bailey Scott, little slider. Davies Uniac wants it more than anyone else. He's a skillful player. He'll need to be from 48. That's a good ball deep into the pocket. Didn't blaze away and he finds Zerha.
Davies Uniac spent most of the day on Jack McRae. We know Jack McRae is a massive ball generator. He's still had a fair bit of the ball, Jack McRae. I think he's had about 16 or so, but I think Davies Uniac has held his own against a very good player.
48 career goals for Cameron Zerha from Melville in Perth. Check side. Oh, that's sharp. It just slides through on the wrong side. So 73-24 the way of the Dogs on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent. How'd you go with those Brian Taylor stats, Chewy?
He's 3 times double figures. His PB 12 majors, and then he also kicked 2 bags of 10 as well for the Bristler.
Who was it 12 against?
Dale.
Who was it 12 against, Chew?
Yeah,
my ball, Bruce.
Chew?
Yeah, Sydney Swans.
Zeeble. Norton.
Big bag.
Got the kick away, inside 50, Vandermeer from behind, couldn't hold the mark. Spills has another go, did well there, Hall. Almost got the handball up though, Spills, McNeil, round the corner, high ball! McNeil got it. Great kick, difficult angle. And the youngster, no problems. 12.779 to the Kangas, 3.624. IGA Liquor scoreboard. And this is good fun when you're this far in front.
Hey, BT, how good a player was Wes Fellows, your teammate?
Wes Fellows was the 86th best and fairest player. He was a good player. Wes, he was a ruckman.
Because you only polled 2 Brownlow votes that day. You kicked 12s?
Yes, they were hard on me.
Wes Fellows got the 3 votes.
Yes.
What did he do? He had 60 touches, did he?
No, he only had 19 touches. 19 touches and 2 goals.
Brian must have had at least 12 to kick the goals.
19 touches, 2 goals and 27 hit-outs.
Yep.
Got the 3 votes. BT just the 2. He might have argued with the umpire a couple of times, maybe, BT.
Do you remember the 12?
No. Don't remember any of them.
Where was it, Stu?
SCG it was.
SCG.
Yep.
Who kicked the goal? McNeil.
McNeil.
Getting excited about myself.
55-point margin, getting a bit ugly now for the Kangas.
Yes. What's the Kangas' current percentage? Stu, Davis Uniaki's trying to do something about it. Sprints out of the middle, he's gone too far. He just ran too far. His little legs were going and going and going and going and going. And Caleb Daniel got him.
He ran from the middle circle and got to the 50-metre line.
Percentage for the Roo boys, Stu, when you get a moment?
Yeah, it's not looking good, obviously, Howie. It is under 50% as the live ladder triggers itself. 44%, Howie.
And Brownie, half of the centre square, half of 50 metres is 25, so that'll be about right, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. He'll kick wide. Brownie just saying he ran a long way. Well, he ran 25 metres. I guess that is a long way, Lipinski. English on the lead marks, presents up in fine style. Bit of an angle here for English, but he's got the journey covered from 35 to 40.
It's going to get very ugly, Brian.
Yep.
Kicked the last 7 now.
Both their games have finished over 50 from memory, I think, Ash.
Yeah, 52 and 59.
Well, Brian, good memory. In comes English. This one's going to be over 50. As it is right now, English going to make that a little more. And he liked it the moment it left the boot, the big fella. So he joins in. I think that's 8 straight goals now for the Dogs. 85 to 24 on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. Proudly local, proudly independent.
He's a big weapon forward, and I said a couple of weeks ago I thought he was a very good set shot at goal, and he missed on that occasion. But today he's kicked a couple back to back, and for a man that's very tall, Brian, I think he looks like a tall version of Bill Clinton.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wow. A tall version of Bill.
No, he does.
He does. You like it, don't you? You've looked at him right then and thought, actually, yes, he does. That's correct.
Fair chance that'll come out on the television at some stage, I think, mate.
Yes, Brownie's got a fascination with hairdos. We're just looking at Todd Goldstein's hair that going there, Brownie. He's got a bit of the...
Oh, that's a bit rough, Joey.
Kevin Bartlett going on there. It was.
And the young guys, the young kid there, what's his name? He's Phillips.
Simpkin.
Phillips in the red boots got the comb over.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The Dogs have slammed on 8 in a row. Zerha, I reckon, for the 3rd time in a row, has got the centre clearance. He's going to drive the ball forward. They need something up there, the Roo boys. It's fished it through from behind, so they get a score, but they trail by 60 points, 85 to 25 on Easter Friday. GoodFridayAppeal.com.au or 1300 appeal. So on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. Here's Brian Taylor, the man that kicked 12 and a couple of bags of 10.
And those 2 Brownlow votes, just going back a little bit, Joe. That's why no one takes any notice of the Brownlow, mate. Little one here to Bailey Smith. Thanks to Maxie. Outline to Dale. Dale to Hunter. Hunter with a slithering low left footer. Looking for the lead there, but a little high for Dunkley. Had to go back, and Hunter, he eventually did to Duray. He gives the handball back to Hunter. Now it starts again from the wing. Pushes forward, this time a penetrating inside 50 kick. Bonham-Pally in front looking for the free. No free. Mark taken by Thomas in the back half. But it is going to open up big time. Really big time here if the Kangas can't do something shortly.
Who have they got the next few weeks, the Kangas, Chewy?
They have got Adelaide, Geelong, Fremantle and Melbourne.
Yep.
Adelaide, where?
That's at Marvel.
Okay.
And Geelong's at GMHBA, Howie. That could be quite nasty.
Fremantle at Optus.
Well, Duck said they wouldn't win a game. I'm not sure I agree with that. They'll win a game, won't they, Brian? They might beat Adelaide next week.
Unlikely.
Okay. Ball not going anywhere. It's across the boundary line in front of...
As each week goes by, I'm a believer, each week goes by and you don't win, your confidence has to be affected. It must become lower and lower each week.
But historically, Chew, man, when was the last time someone didn't manage to get a win? It'd be a long time ago, Chewy.
1964, Fitzroy.
Well, that is a long time ago. Marnie with a little chipping ball out in the front of Atley. In fact, it's not Atley. It's the number 28, not the number 18, and that's Turner, who can go back and have a shot. Now, what was that?
Right, they will win a game, of course.
Sure they will.
But
1964 was the last time a team went winless.
Who was
Fitzroy.
that?
Fitzroy, yep.
It's a long year, isn't it, Noodles?
But I reckon lots of teams have only won one, Ash, probably.
Only won one, no doubt. Yeah, North Melbourne last time it happened to them.
That other stat I asked for, you're getting back to me with that?
Which one was that?
I asked for one, I can't remember what it was. It's that long ago, you've forgotten.
Turner to break a run of 8 straight Bulldogs goals. Just get a bit snipey in the box now. Turner from directly in front. He's missed it, Brian.
Yeah.
Missed it. It's now 85-26 on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
8 straight goals for the Dogs. Daniel from fullback. Wide to Bailey Smith. How many has he had, Ash?
Bailey Smith, 17 touches.
Yeah, that's a few. 17. Opportunity here for the Dogs. They just throw it around on the wing there. No problems at all. They're doing as they please at the moment. Ball comes into Norton. Zigs this way, that away. Turns Zerha inside out. Goes deep inside looking for Bruce. Ground level ball. He fights for it. Also there on that occasion with Big Martin. And Rosebery there says, give it to me. Let's get down to Tom Brown for Bob Jane team Arts.
BT, North have confirmed to us that Anderson is out for the game. I think it's an ankle injury. So Anderson, their second injury.
Is it a dubious ankle injury?
Well, there's no advantage in him being out now, obviously, given having activated a medical sub, so I don't think so.
Bob Jane Team Arts, book a free Bob Jane Team Arts tyre safety check today.
Ah, yes.
And keep your family safe on the road this Easter.
Of course.
There we go. 4 goals to zip this term, 8 in a row for the Bulldogs. They led by 12 at quarter time, 38 at the half, and the margin currently, Chew?
Margin is 59 points.
Ooh, Josh Bruce, he's got 6, potentially on the way to 10 or more. Bulldogs keep it in their attacking area.
6 is his career high, Howie. I think he's kicked it 4 times now in his career, Bruce, so he's never kicked more than 6. So he'll know that. He'll know 7 will be a PB for him.
A bit of a limp up. He did miss one from 15 out directly in front the first term as well, Joey. So the bag is open for Joshy Bruce. Steph Martin battling away at ground level. The debutant tries to get it clear. That's Will Phillips holding the ball, and it's going the way of the Roo boys. How many's Phillips had on debut, Chulenko?
Phillips, Howie, 6 touches.
Tom Brown, Bob Jane team March. The roof's closed today. Perfect day in Melbourne. In fact, rather hot. Thomas, what's going on with the roof?
So, BT, I discussed this issue with the AFL during the week. It's the AFL's firm policy this year. It's a flat policy. The roof will be closed for all games. So, for example, last night, over 30 degrees. It wouldn't have affected the telecast in terms of the shadows.
Can you follow up? Does that mean that every game that's going to be played with the roof shut will have a yellow ball? Could you follow that up, please? I'd like to know.
Absolutely.
Most games after 4 are played with yellow, but under the roof, they might all be played with. And wow, wouldn't that be a story?
Wow, that'd be huge, Brian.
Yes, it would.
That's front page.
You know it would be. Hayden the sub. Dogs get the ball inside their 50. Closing, weaving traffic here. Picked up Bontempelli, didn't get all of it to the square. Minor score. You know it'll be a big story.
I know. What'll be even bigger is if you announce that photo that you sent out on social media of all your footballs, how many of those you rightfully came across and how many found your way in the back of your car.
Yes, well...
How many footballs do you have, Brian?
No, I just borrowed them for the photo.
Yeah, but how many were in that photo that you borrowed?
There were 500.
Right, it's a lot of footballs, mate.
Yeah.
It's a lot of footballs, but that will be a big story, so you'll follow that on all the news services about the yellow football throughout the week.
Yeah.
And it'll set the agenda on the Monday night shows. Talking footy, is that still on, Brian, or is that...
Talking footy, I don't think so.
Right, Easton Wood sends one down the line. Lockie Hunter on the couch, that still goes. Centering ball away from Chalor. Goldstein. There's a bit of time and space, the big man. Now Atley, can he pinpoint a pass? He does. And he finds the number 12, Jai Simpkin.
So Simpkin pulled the trigger and mishit it. Lipinski was there. Cunnington with the dusty, don't argue. Got it back to Simpkin. Now he needs to be neat with the kick down here. He wasn't able to find Young on the lead. It ricochets to Simpkin as another go. Got the handball out wide, and here they go again, the Kangas. Initially it came from Marnie. Involved also in that was Phillips. And a turnover here. Free kick will go the way of Easton Wood. Right on the footy, oh what a feeling logo.
team. So a lot still need to figure out.
Goals in the quarter here. Still 6.5 minutes remaining for one of the rare times the Dogs go backwards to Liberatore.
Now you're around.
Told to go and just goes sideways to Johannesson. How have you seen him today, boys? Johannesson, he's returned to AFL footy after missing the first two through form.
He's been okay at best. He's just had the 10 disposals. Haven't seen a lot of run and dash from him off half-back.
Bontempelli working his way into a chewy.
Up to disposal number 11.
He goes to Jure. Where's Bruce? Can't see him in the glasses at the moment. Might be having a spell. Caleb Daniel, city side wing. Takes his time, the little man. Wants to sizzle one inside 50. Goes very short. That's horrible. There's a worm burner. Stevenson, numbers 2, coming the other way.
13.
Davis Uniacke has been one of the best for the Roos, if not the best. Stevenson will get 14 and 15 here. Just sends a hopeful ball out in front of Charlie Lazaro, the man out of Geelong College. Very nice educational institution, that one. 25 grand a year cost there as it goes across the line on the outer side. And when you're not used to it, it puts a bit of a hole in the pocket, Brian.
Falcons footy factory down there. Mickey Turner, recently retired. Mickey, after about 50 years service.
Yep. He's down Longway now, isn't he?
Yes.
Hi, North Melbourne.
North Melbourne free. Goldstein here. Now the man on the mark is right on the 50. Perhaps even the 52. So this will test big Goldie.
Todd. Around. Keep coming.
A little bit of angle about it. Do well to get the journey from here, Goldie, but they are in desperate need of a 6-pointer here. He goes sideways to Zeeble. Zeeble marks on the point of the square. Looks sideways, nothing there. Tries to go for the lead here. Good, strong lead it was, but the mark couldn't be held. Easton Wood rips the handball out wide here to Hunter. Hunter floats a neat little ball to Lipinski that travelled 7.5 metres. And Lipinski has paid the mark on half back, Howie.
Lipinski goes nice. That's the 45 ball we're loving this season to English. He's having a game and a half. Sends it down towards Norton. Can't see Bruce out there at the moment. Norton tries to mop up. Goes straight through Bailey Scott's legs. Norton comes a second and a third time. He battles well, the big man. Wants a piece of it, shoves the tackle away. Liberatore wobbles it forward. Good footy, Dogs. Norton really stuck with it. And Van der Meer will go back and have a shot, thanks to Norton's effort from about 40 on a 45-degree angle.
A brilliant individual effort. He got the smother on the handball, won the ground ball, shrugged off a couple, burnt them off, and gave it to Liberatore. It was a nice passage for a big man.
Player I've seen go really aggressive against a player. And O'Connor, everything was in the...
Demir out of Marupna, 22-year-old. It's a pretty good kick of the footy. Yeah, it just fades a bit right. So through for one behind. The Dogs are 87. Kangaroos are 26. 500 footballs, Brian. Is that the biggest private collection in the country?
Look, it may well be, but I don't own them. I just hang on to them for people.
Oh, you just it's just a storage system you're running.
It's not an ownership. It's a sharing-based system. There's Zeeble.
A lot of footballs, Nate, 500.
Where do you think they go? I mean, every old footy has got to have a home. Zeeble. Think about that. No one throws footies out. They all have a home. So have you ever seen a footy in the bin? I don't think so.
So you're running a type of Legends racehorse place where the old footies go to retire gracefully.
That's right. A storage sort of area. Kick out wide here, looking for and finding Hayden.
So they don't get passed on for a discount price? Is that
not?
Well, they don't get passed on for money. They get passed on for no money. Short ball, Thomas.
And then if you got 500, I guess not many getting passed on.
No, just spur them out to local clubs if they see the need, but don't bother emailing at this stage. We're busy. Goldstein.
AdoptaFooty.com.
English. No point in sending an email. Marnie. Responses are few and far between. Bruce, Daniel, Johannesson, Wood.
Get there on their new game day ferry service direct to...
Bailey Smith is picked up 20 touches.
Takes on Lazaro. It's a good ball out in front of Scott. It's the Western Bulldogs version of Scott. He tried to slide a left foot ball inside 50. Zeeble. Is Bruce back out there, Nath, or not?
No, he's off the ground.
Get him back on there. They've turned it over. They're giving it to Tim English. Josh Bruce has got 6. He's got men calling forward. Now, Josh Bruce has come on the ground now. He just must have come on as Nate said that, so he's deep, Brian.
He is. And they go short to Jure. Inside the centre square here. 25 and a quarter minutes ticked over. 87-26 it is in favour of the Dogs as Norton comes back up the race. Is he all right, Tom Brown, for Bob Jane?
He went down the race briefly. He's just doing some run-throughs in front of the Dr. Gary Zimmerman. I think he's okay, but I'll keep a very close eye on him, BT.
Oh, look at Zimmer with the strange hair and the mozzie down there. He's having a good look at Norton. Asked him the question. Norton says, yep, I'm all good. Now Duray, point of the square half forward, chipping ball. Here they go, high ball, forward, deep. A lot of players converging on the pack there. No winner in the air. Vandermeer, sharked out the handball to Bailey Smith. Bailey Smith comes back to Trelaw. Little left foot around the corner, goal. Got it. 5 goals in the quarter. Trelaw's got 3. 14-9-93. 3-8-26. And is that 9 collective, successive, consecutive opportunities that have been goals?
Yep.
On the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Trelaw showing his class tonight. He's kicked a couple of beauties on his left boot, actually. A pass to Bruce. That snap, he's really standing out with his foot skills, but it's turned into a little bit of a ball fest. The Bulldogs just sort of racking up some stats around the 50. They didn't want to kick it in the first time, but in the end, they created something out of nothing.
Jim-Man, I like to look at positives. I reckon your power bill is going to be very much reduced this year because I don't think you're going to need the spar too frequently.
Well, in the middle of a pandemic, that's quite handy, Howie, when the funds are a little bit tight. Last year was very lean as well, just for reference for Red Z. It's heading that way this year.
Get a bit of algae on the spars.
I think we know that AFL footy clubs, when they get new balls, they date them all.
Right.
It might be the 20th of the 4th, 2021.
McRae bangs the ball forward. I'm fascinated by this with adopthefooty.com.
Play on, come out.
Ball forward to the wing for the Dogs. Yes, Nate, those
I'd
they
be
stamp the ball.
staggered if 90% of Brian's footballs don't have a date on them of some sort.
Where they originated from before someone left them a Brian's story.
Probably a Western Bulldogs 20th of the 6th, 97.
Okay, he's giving us the shut up signal now, so we might just ease off adopthefootball.com.
I don't have footies that old.
Easton Wood. Dunkley, is it another one? And it is for the Dogs. Oh boy! This is an absolute flogging on Easter Friday. They've kicked the last 10. 99-26 on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor proudly local, proudly independent, and that is all the way of the Dogs.
100-pointer coming up, could be the first of the year, Ash.
Yeah, it could be, and the Bulldogs' greatest winning margin ever against the Kangaroos is 92, so they might smash that record, BT.
Marquee games, of course, if you want to play in a marquee game, it's got to be a marquee game, and it can't be a marquee game if you keep getting thrashed in marquee games.
This is not a marquee, is it?
Not a marquee if you keep doing this sort of stuff. We know they're young and they're developing and all that, but many teams have come through the same process and still managed to keep the faith.
The Blues have lost a lot on the old opening game of the season, Brian, the marquee.
Oh, no. Harvey Norman replay, purchase with 60 months interest-free at Harvey Norman and receive a bonus gift card, conditions apply.
When was the last time the Blues had a win in the first game of the season, Two-Man?
Jeez. To go back a long, long time ago.
Okay.
Never known a stats man, Red Z lending style, Red Z lending loans for the self-employed, say when asked about a stat, gee, a long time.
And it's on Good Friday.
Amazing words, Simpkin. Opportunity, I don't know whether it's me or you, Howie, but Simpkin's got it on the wing, just a handball back inside the Marnie.
He's got competition for the first time in 20 years, Chew, as well, which,
yes,
sharpen up a touch.
What's his name?
Heath Melbourne.
Powell caught with the footy. I don't think his name's Heath.
Ethan Meldrum.
All right.
Yeah, he's doing very well.
Molly, he is Chew. That's sort of the point of the conversation. He's doing very well. We've discussed this on this show before, that in media you always get someone to fill in, Brian, that is nowhere near your ability.
Yes, and that's what Ash has done. He put Ethan forward. And McRae, just to ensure that he gets the invo back. Little one out in front here. Here's Vandermeer. Shuffle the handball out wide to Hunter. Hunter's got little pressure. Trying to focus. Goes with a low squirter. On the siren. Touched on the line by Taron Thomas. And it'll be a behind. It will count. But what a horrific quarter for North Melbourne. A quarter in which the Dogs kicked 6 straight. 6 unanswered. 3-8-26 the Kangas. 15-10, 100 on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
Footy's back and I'm loving it.
New to Triple M Breakfast in 2021.
Hello.
Mighty Sheer Gold.
In round 4, the Lions have to stay in Victoria because they play the Bulldogs in Ballarat. So all of a sudden,
forward to that.
God, I hope we get to play the Bulldogs in Ballarat this year.
Oh, we do! The draw's out! It's Ballarat, guys! Against the Bulldogs!
The Mighty Sheer Gold Show. New to Triple M. Weekdays from 6.
Here if you need.
Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app.
At Liquorland, there's always great value. Like a 700ml bottle of Johnny Walker Black Label 12-year-old Scotch whiskey for $44. So head into your local Liquorland today or shop online and collect your order in just 30 minutes.
With Trade Institute of Victoria's remote learning, study building and construction from the comfort of your own home. Learn from home in TIV's virtual classrooms. Whether you're upskilling or going for a complete career change, TIV will support you every step of the way. Government funding available for eligible applicants. Apply online. Learn now and build your future faster with TIV. RTO number 21920.
When there's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to book a half-off flight, you don't go on a half-hearted holiday. You go for a full-on snorkel. Find a full-on rainforest or see some full-on views. And always find time for a full-on bite to eat. So come on Australia. With half-off select flights, plan your full-on holiday at australia.com. Book with your airline or travel agent of choice before tickets sell out. Terms and conditions apply.
G'day, Billy Brownless here. Geelong footy fans, if you want to get behind the Cats next time they play in Melbourne, get there in style with one of Port Phillip Ferry's new game day ferry services. Forget about packed trains or parking. Grab your mates and jump on board the Geelong Flyer, taking you straight from Geelong to Docklands. There's a bar, so you can have a couple of frothies on the way there and on the way home. Going to the footy in Melbourne from Geelong, it's better by boat. Head to portphillipferries.com.au for more info.
The hunt is on. This Easter, shop loads of egg-signing offers at Sexyland. For her, 15% off buzzing rabbits and eggs. For him, 15% off Crazy Ball male toys. Couples games at 20% off and Shiatsu body care. Buy one, get one free. Plus loads of treats to hunt out in-store and online. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong, or get 2-hour delivery at sexyland.com.au.
We are making a song and dance about Mondays. It's Meerkat Mondays, now Mondays aren't so bleak. At Compares the Market, there's surprises every week.
Surprises? What surprises?
To find out, go to comparethemarket.com.au/Meerkat Mondays.
This year, MasterChef serving up the best cooks ever and the best food ever.
What I tasted there was a passion.
I'm struggling to find the words.
MasterChef, coming soon to 10.
At Liquorland, we're lowering prices on hundreds of beers, wines and spirits store-wide. Save on wines such as Wolf Blass and Yellowtail, and spirits like Gordon's and Dimple. Find these and many more great price drop offers in store or at liquorland.com.au.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
That's it. She's a belting here at Marvel as the Dogs by 12 at quarter time, 38 at the half. They've kicked the last 10 goals of this match. They lead it by 74 points at the final break, 15-10-100. The Roos 38-26. Josh Bruce, the big story, he's got 6. Although Bob Jane T-Marts, book a free Bob Jane T-Marts tyre safety check today and keep your family safe on the road this Easter. Did he spend some time down the race, Tommy?
A little bit of intrigue surrounding Josh Bruce's fitness, Howie, because he's just spent most of the quarter down the race with Dr. Gary Zimmerman, who has been busy. Having said that, Bruce is having a big gulp of water. He's back out in the huddle and looks ready to hopefully add to his tally of goals. The other injuries, of course, Polek with a left hamstring for North earlier in the game, Gardner for the Bulldogs, and also Anderson for North Melbourne, who's got a heavily iced ankle. I've also received a response, Howie, from the AFL quite high up at the AFL regarding BT's yellow ball question. Do we want to deal with that now or during the quarter?
Now.
Don't deal with it at all, Tom. I advise you strongly not to take it any further.
It was on your it was your instruction, wasn't it, BT?
Are you going to go with it now, or is it going to lead the news at 7 o'clock?
No, we'll go with it now. They reckon it's a yellow ball policy in accordance with the closed roof. Having said that, they've asked me to ask BT directly, this is the AFL, what's his preference? Does he like the red one better?
No, I like the yellow balls. Yellow balls are better.
I thought they might have wanted to borrow a couple, Brian.
Settle.
500. Thank you, Tommy. Triple M Red Z Lending stats. Red Z Lending, loans to the self-employed. Here's the two-man.
Josh Bruce, number 1 ranked player for the Bulldogs with those 6 majors, which is an equal PB. As Joey said, 4 times he's nailed 6 goals, 3 of those against North, Howie.
And you got Joey Noodles in the back row, dominating as always.
Yeah, look, really, the Bulldogs are just making the Kangaroos pay off turnover. They've kicked 12 of their 15 goals off turnovers. All 6 in that third quarter were from turnovers. So it's a bit of an issue for the Kangaroos at the moment, a young side. They're turning the ball over. We know the Dogs can make you pay in that way, and they've certainly done that. They flexed their muscles and put a big gap in this game.
The stat there to look at is the uncontested marks and also the handball receives. The Dogs almost doubling them with handball receives, which is the way football's played with these new rules. North Melbourne, as was discussed a couple of times, slow played, uncontested marks, and the Dogs are just closing them down.
74-point margin as we start the final quarter of football for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Ranks football. Up we go. Goldstein wins the knock, got it down to Cunnington. His handball smothered to Dunkley. Dunkley to Treloar. Had a field day to Treloar. Runs to 50. Hoist the long ball. And I think it hit Bruce on the head as he tried to shepherd it through. I would advise Bruce to try and mark it. If I were he, 15-11-101 to 3-8-26, the Dogs on the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours. There's a 50. We'll get to that in a moment. Trade price and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores. What was a 54, Nate?
He said that he hadn't run out of the square yet when the player on the mark ran towards him.
Okay, so Jack Zeeble.
Time, 69 can we go.
So that's a long 50.
It is, considering that the goal square is 10.
Well, it's 15. It happens from where the 15 metres from the end of the goal square is, but it's still a long one, Howie.
Okay.
Stand.
Tommy Powell in game number 3 has it, centre wing. Splits it wide to Mackay by hand to Walker. He's trying to barrel it inside 50. Great defensive spoiling pressure from Dunkley. Well picked up by Lipinski. Treloar back to Dunkley. Norton's going to be deep and hard to stop here. Bailey Dale's got it. He's got Norton. He's got Norton. He's got Norton. He's gone out the back. And he's gone to the right man to Bruce. And Josh Bruce has kicked 7 on Easter Friday. Smiles all round. And a good hit to find the man with the bag too. 107 to 26. 11 in a row now to the Dogs on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Joey, you spoke about the turnovers just before we went back into the bounce of the last quarter, and again another turnover. This time it was good play by the Dogs because it was a smother off the boot and it came from Dunkley. He just dived on the football, they turned it over and then they didn't touch it on the overlap. And Bailey Williams and Bailey Dale, really important for them this year. We know Johannesson's missed the first 2 games, but off half-back, those 2 players, I think, structure the Dogs up so well. And Bailey Williams marks the footy in the air. Bailey Dale is just so elite at his footwork, and just to pick out Josh Bruce then just shows that he's a thinking man's footballer.
Selfers football, 81-point margin. Got to be happy with this. David Noble taking notes in the exercise book down there, jotting them in. Dunkley, who's been fantastic again. What a start to the season he's had. His price has gone up, Tom, for Adrian Dodoro. I'll tell you now. Here goes Treloar again. A little stimmer. Tried to work it forward there to Hunter. Thomas beat him to the footy. Got the handball back to Hall. Hall a little looper. Stevenson did not want to know. Let Cunnington do the work. Oh boy, goodness gracious me. Now the ball's at ground level. Treloar got it. Little kick around the body to Bruce. Bruce handball. Libber threw it out the back door. Funny handball. Lipinski thought about it. Mackay tracked him down. Little one back inside here now. Comes through. Vandermeer. Vandermeer's marked 30 out directly in front.
Great kick from McRae. I reckon that's the part of the game Jack McRae has really improved. His late decision with foot to kick the ball around the corner. When he first started in the AFL, I thought he was a pretty ordinary foot skill and he was very ordinary decision maker. I think that's the one area he's got so much better at.
So as a result of that one area, Vandermeer has a set shot from directly in front, 30 metres out, and he sprayed it right. So an 82 Is that 82 points, Ash?
The Triple M Red Z lending stats BT, 82, yep.
Yep, thank you. 3.5 minutes into the final quarter on the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Ream Hot Water built tough Aussie conditions with the latest technology when it comes to water heating. Install the Ream. It's 12 at quarter time, Dogs, 38 half time, 74. Q-Man just told you the margin now. He's blown right out to 82 points. Josh Bruce has got 7. They're going to go inside again to Norton. Bruce is just wandering his way back to the goal square. It'll take a big roost from Norton, so he elects just to bite off a little chip to the pocket, which is good. Back to McRae. So, he's going to be tight on the boundary, and he probably should set it up the square and give Josh Bruce a chance to take a big hang-up. But McRae's zeroed in now. He'll take a good kick for the number 11. No, he chips it towards Steph Martin, and Norton, the man that put it in there in the first place, goes hanger. And this, Nate, is now officially a destroyation. This will make it 13 in a row, too. I've lost track as Norton will line up with no angle from the goal square.
Yeah, Howie, sorry, just doing some investigative stats work, that's all right.
So it might be 12. Might have got carried
This will
away.
be number 12.
12 in a row for Norton. He kicked the goal early, and since then he's seen Joshy Bruce snapple 7. Norton pops it through. Flogging, destroyation, belting, whacking. Choose your adjective, but she's 114 to 26. The Dogs have kicked the last 12 of this game, and it is now out to an 88-point margin on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours. Trade price and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Yeah, we're just playing a little bit of trivia in the back row, trying to find out the last Western Bulldogs player to kick 7 goals in a game. It's we think it might be Tory Dixon.
Yeah, back in 2015.
All right, Tory Dixon, 2015.
A couple of famous names in there who's done it twice.
Nathan Brown has done it twice, actually.
Did you, Nate?
Yeah, for the Bullies.
Is that career high, 7?
Yeah.
Never ask a question you don't know the answer to, Harry.
Very, very true.
88-point thumping here. It's going to be a 100-pointer. Get ready. Norton on the Harvey Norman replay there. Superb in the air. Hence Cunnington back in the middle. Liver. Fast hands McRae. Brilliant. Got the handball back to Bonampelli. He's got free space. Bruce in front. Norton was there as well. Walker farming off the handball wide, finishes with Hall, still inside defensive 50. Tackled as he kicked the ball by Norton, spills it, comes to Bailey Smith, has a shot from 25, missed. Minor score, 17-13, 115 to 38-26, so an 89-point margin now in favour of the Dogs on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
You'd have Josh Bruce beside him there, Nate. Did Bailey Smith.
No, he did the right thing. I know you want to bring him in and add him kick his 8th, but Bailey Smith running into an open goal, you'd back him in, he should have kicked it.
No, you're right, but for the entertainment package, it'd be nice to see Big Brucey go right up his chops. Ball on the outer side.
Saying that, Howard, there's not too many better feelings than kicking a goal.
Thanks, Nate.
Really?
Yeah.
Give us a feel of what it feels like.
I just like it, Brian. There's not too many things in the world like kicking a goal. It's all about you at that time.
An unusual comment, but the feeling of kicking a
Thomas, his kick is spoiled. Here is Josh Bruce. He handballs it. I don't know about that, unless he was going for the 1-2. Well, the Dogs, they're dominating this. Cunnington by hand. Here's a chance for David Uniacke, who's been good. Lazzaro's got open space, Charlie. Go on, Charlie. Hit 40 and kick the goal. The man from Geelong College. A bit of a fist pump. They're getting belted. But Lazzaro kicks his first AFL goal. And does it in fine style. The Kangas break a run at 12 noodles, 32 to 115. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
It's a good moment. Everyone's getting to him. All his teammates. The only one who didn't want to was Ben Cunnington. He's absolutely knackered. His first game in nearly 12 months. But then he felt guilty because he saw every other one of his teammates go over to him. So he thought, I better trudge over and give him a high five. But nice moment for the kid. If there's not many better feelings than kicking a goal, Brownie, it's kicking your first goal in AFL football.
North Melbourne player, when they're almost 90 points down in the last quarter, got to him. That's a good
nice,
sign. That's a really good sign. I reckon if you're going to take a positive out of today, David Noble looking down at that go, well, at least our players care and they're still in the game.
Yeah, Joey's one up to Nath. If anyone else out there has got a suggestion of a better feeling than
kicking your first goal.
Your first goal, other than just a goal, plain goal, let us know.
Well, as you pointed out at the start of the show, Brian, it's about life experiences, when you had them or whether you haven't.
Yeah, and we found out today that neither of the boys in the back row have dug a hole or used the chainsaw.
Put up a fence.
Which is disgusting, manly behaviour. Opportunity here, little one. Most people have had a look at their garden at some stage. McRae spills, Bontempelli through the square, hammering big bastard. Did you see that? It was a nice one. 4-8-32 the Kangas. And the Dogs 18-13, 121 on the Beacon Trade scoreboard. Bontempelli, Ash, tell us about him today.
Yeah, Marcus Bontempelli, BT for Red Z. Now to 13 disposals. He's also laid 4 tackles as well and kicked that long major.
It's one of the mysteries of this game, to be honest, Brownie, is how Marcus Bontempelli, in a game where the Dogs have had 350 disposals already, has only seen it 14 times.
Jack McRae's been pretty quiet as well at the same time, so the 2 major ball winners have had less than great nights, and the other players have stepped up and they've still been able to win comfortably.
Triple M Seabus Super Specials, you got Joey and Noodles delivering consistent long-term return for members. Seabus for one and all of us.
I'll tell you who is very important to him is Tom Liberatore. He's working tight, in close, makes the right decision more often than not, and he's a player that when he does get caught, just got a knack of getting his arms free and making the right decision.
91-point margin. Ooh. And Josh Bruce is still marooned on 7. Free kick away the Bulldogs. Bruce is deep at the moment with Zeeble standing beside him. McRae, Chewy, Red Zeds.
23 touches.
Goes a little low sizzler. Oh, gee whiz, Bontempelli. He just sort of shrugged a couple of opponents and took a little mark. Norton's on the lead, which leaves Bruce deep. Can he kick it from here, Nate? Surely not from 60. No. He's going to pierce one in towards Bruce. Oh, he's got a big Josh. Great hit from the skipper. And Bruce will line up for number 8.
I reckon the last Bulldogs player to kick 8 was Brad Johnson. Pretty sure he kicked it against the Cats maybe back in around 2005 or 6, but this would be a big moment for Josh Bruce.
I'll tell you what, he had it on a platter, didn't he, from Marcus Bontempelli, low and flat, straight onto Brucey's chest.
So he's kicked 7. Josh Bruce, he's been outstanding today. Similar distance to one he missed in the first term. Every non-Kangaroo supporter wants to see this go through. Bruce from 20 out, leans back on it, through the middle, have a look at this! Josh Bruce has gone mad! Josh Bruce has gone mad! He's got 8!
Josh Bruce has gone mad! Josh Bruce has gone mad!
Josh
Bruce has gone completely mad!
Bit of pre-recorded stuff. I'm not sure what worked, Noodles, but the big fella's got 8. No, I haven't. I'm just saying. Josh Bruce has kicked 8. That was beyond me. That.
Who was the last Bulldogs player to kick 8?
Brownie, you're all over it. Brad Johnson, round 1, 2007 against the Cats.
So this is news that a commentator is now teeing up pre-recorded bits to support his commentary. This is shocking behaviour.
His ego
I didn't do that,
out of control.
Boy, it is on the plate. And it's so big you can't eat it.
Brian, I didn't do that.
Oh,
I'm happy to discuss that post-game.
Me.
I think it was a fantastic piece of calling, and the boys in the back row thought they're going.
He was on the buzzer going, hey, producer, get me a replay on that. And back in the middle go, oh boy, goodness gracious me, some bad things happening in and out of the box at the moment. A little opportunity here, picked up by that number 17 there, Young, who did well to get it to Zeeble. Zeeble just standing mark here, now kicks well to Zerha, and he made the mark more difficult than look. In the end, it was a chest mark. You don't need to make a chest mark look hard. Libba got it there into Dunkley. English, further afield to Ray, off the side of the boot. Here he comes. Josh got the handball of Lipinski. Lipinski back to Daniel. Daniel slides it sideways, finds Williams. Williams neat ball to Libba. Couldn't mark it. Recovers the footy. Libba, handball out very, 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 very wide. Got it to Lipinski. Had a shot and missed. In fact, the mark has been paid right on the behind line.
Through the behind.
So it's 127 to 32. They've kicked 12 of the last, or 13 of the last 14 goals in this game. Josh Bruce has got 8. Wow, you're seeing him celebrate there, Bruce, on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. Purchase with 60 months interest-free at harveynorman.com and purchase and receive a bonus gift card. Conditions apply. Davies Uniacke takes on the tackler. Bailey Smith gives him a little bit to go on with as well. Advantage paid. McRae delays a hand pass. Makes it difficult for Duray. They're just sort of forcing the ball forward here, the Dogs. They want to get back towards Joshy Bruce. Caleb Daniel, he's your man. He's got wide options. Right down the middle, though, is Bontempelli. And Marcus will line up for his second of the term and the match to take it over 100 points.
Bulldogs, the Kangaroos cannot get this past halfway at the moment. The Dogs look like they're going to kick another 6 or 7. This is officially a destroyation.
So Marcus Bontempelli started slowly, Chewy's racking them up now, as you would say.
Yeah, he is. 14 disposals, a major.
To make it a 101-point game. Bontempelli with a rare miss.
Some news just on tomorrow's game, the Richmond game. Daniel Rioli has been dropped out of the Tigers side for tomorrow's game against Sydney.
Ooh.
So just a little bit of an axie there. Zeeble, 128-32. That's a 96-point advantage as it stands at the moment. Turner at halfback from North Melbourne with the footy. Thought about the handball to Mackay and a 50-metre penalty. He lured Hunter into moving on the mark there. Did Turner. And a 50 will bring him right up to the wing. Haven't kicked the goal. In fact, they have kicked one. They've kicked one in the second half. The Kangas, that's not going to get the job done. Scott goes back to Turner. Turner trying to hit the standing star, a target there in the sub. In Hayden. He plays on with the short ball. And the mark is taken by Lazaro. So Lazaro will line up for his second goal. He is the only one that's kicked the goal for North in his second half of footy with 11 minutes remaining. Charlie Lazaro in game 3. This kick from 45 metres on a 45-degree angle. In he comes. And it's tight and just misses. So 33-128. That makes it a 95-point margin. Again here on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
It's okay when he's had the ball in his hands today, Joey. That goal he kicked before, had a little bit of composure about it. He's a young player on the up.
Nice work by English. He's been nice today, Chewy.
Yeah, Tim English for Triple M Red Z. That's mark number 8, along with 14 disposals and a couple of goals.
Johannesson, Dunkley, McRae, they're going forward to Bruce. He's caught behind. Great contest. He's done that all day. Brings it to ground. Treloar takes it on Mackay. Hand pass. Bailey Dale. Another one. She's another one in the book. And now the 100 is up. That's not the score either. That's the margin. 101-point margin. 20-14-134. She's a cricket score. 4-9-33. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, another nice finish by Bailey Dale. One of these unheralded players we speak about in this side. We know about the big names, but there are some guys that just do their roles really well across half-back. Duray, Williams and Bailey Dale.
So last time we had a 100-point win, Joey, was round 21, 2019. Funny enough, the Bulldogs, that was against the Bombers. They won that game by 104. But this will be the Bulldogs' greatest winning margin ever against the Kangaroos if they keep it going. Prior to today, it was 92 points back in 1971.
Oh, yes, the Harvey Norman replay showing the Bailey Dale goal there. Purchased with 60 months interest-free at Harvey Norman. Receive a bonus gift card. Conditions apply. David Noble can't imagine how he'd be feeling other than he knows it's a long, hard road ahead, and 100 points can be turned around pretty quickly. North at half-back. Opportunity by Young drop, but he tidies it up in the end, but then they turn it over. Bailey Dale again, got it to McRae. There's such a good side to watch by foot and hand as Treloar takes the mark, looking for went straight through the gloves, recovered it, wanted to keep it for himself. In the end, got the handball along the ground, hoping Vandermeer would run onto it and then give it back to him. That didn't eventuate. It was a dream. Bailey Dale drops a chest mark in the end. A tackle there was high on that occasion by Hall, and the free kick will go the way of McRae.
Bruce is calling for it in the pocket. Leading up to come. He looks spent. Big Joshy after kicking 8. McRae bangs the ball inside 50. Bruce is stationary at the moment. Could still end up with him. Bailey Smith checks side. Oh, hit inside of the post. It would have been the goal of the day, Brian.
Yeah, the back of the post, actually.
Indeed.
So technically it
halfway
crossed
through.
the line.
Yep. 135 to 33.
Do you reckon that's possible? So it crossed the line and hit the back of the post. So it was actually a goal before it hit the post.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah, I do.
Because it had that arc on it. Now, if you replay that, I reckon it would show it. Interception here. And the kick at goal is going to be taken here by Scott as a result. But, yeah, it could have been a goal.
Does the whole ball need to be across the line?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And it's still possible because balls can swing several metres, and that was just a little swinger.
Great explanation.
Yeah. Here's Scott. And I don't think he's kicked the goal, has he, Ash?
Scott for Triple M Red's Head. No, he hasn't, BT.
Okay, so this would be his first goal.
This would be his first goal. Spot on.
Okay.
Give it to him, Brian.
So here is Scott from 35 metres out. Watch his teammates get to him, but only if it's a goal. It goes out of bounds on the full. So how many have done that with their first attempt at goal, kick it out of bounds on the full, Ash?
That's only the second time that's ever happened in the history of the game since 1897, BT. Last time was round 15, 1951, by a Collingwood player. Can't quite recall his name.
That's what the two man does.
John Jerovich.
Yep.
Zeeble, Zerha flies. Cunnington on his return to footy tube.
17 touches, throwing 8 clearances.
Stevenson.
Gee, this guy's playing well.
Dale, isn't he? What about old Steve-O?
Yeah, Jaden Stevenson, Howie, he's had 18 disposals, kicked a goal.
Good play that Bailey Dale, isn't he, Brian?
Yeah, he's great. What interchanges have we got left, Ash, as a matter of interest coming up? We've still got, 7-8 minutes to play.
Yeah.
Have they exhausted them?
Nah, nine each.
Okay, 9 to go each.
Yep.
There's Duray, Bontempelli. Just a possession game now. Keith was ugly off the boot and kicks it straight down the throat of Phillips. Inside to Lazaro. Talaki, who had to back up. He had nothing on down the ground, so he couldn't kick it. Goes sideways and finds his opportunity with Powell. Powell squirts the ball out wide there, and involved was Young, but they turn it over again. It's going to come back and hurt him. McNeil, little handle over the top to Scott. Scott goes even bit wider, but there's room now for Dunkley to shove it down the throat of Bruce. Knocked away by Walker, couldn't mark it. Very, very close. Bruce, he has another go. Walker's got the handball back into the danger zone. Bruce paddles the ball in front. Oh, he was driven into the ground. His head was slammed into the turf. I wouldn't be surprised whether he's knocked out here, Bruce. He had his head driven into the turf, and he won't be very happy about that. I don't know whether it was Zeeble that got him and smashed his head into the deck. That was unbelievable on the Harvey Norman replay.
He looks to be up and okay. He's a lucky boy, though. Brian called it brilliant as always. He really got his head rammed into the turf. Karen Thomas. Tommy, how's this all going to play out for the Kangaroos? The media bus will be right outside Arden Street tomorrow.
Howie, I think, BT, with that Zeebel's tackle, the AFL will look at that, or whoever did apply that tackle, because they're really conscious of those. Just in terms of this, I think the AFL's view is that just because North's rebuilding, it doesn't mean they don't necessarily deserve this fixture. The counter view, though, is that this is prime time. Like, this is Good Friday, twilight. The Good Friday appeals on. It's 7 prime time. And North, unfortunately, aren't competitive. So I think it might depend on whether, for example, they win a game this year. But I don't think the AFL wants to take it off them. There's Dreamtime, there's Queen's Birthday. There's other examples where the fixture hasn't always been competitive, but the AFL stuck with the two teams that helped create it.
Yes, this will get the marquee game talk going again. The marquee game is first and foremost a marquee game because lots of people come to watch it all the time, not just when it suits them. And then you've got to deliver as well for the fan that comes and for ratings and for all sorts of reasons. Duray, sneaky handball, found opportunity with Scott, got it off to Johannesson. A deliberately high little loopy ball finds Bailey Dale on the lead. It was a beautiful kick by Johannesson. He didn't need to bullet it. He just gave it a little bit of loop so Dale could make his own pace to the footy.
Yeah, this fourth quarter, when it's a margin like this, what happens is the guys that love just accumulating possessions really start to fill their boots in this last quarter. And no surprise, Jack McRae, 12 in this last quarter, Dunkley 9, and Liberatore 7. So
and look at them wanting to get on for that reason.
They all want to queue up, get some stats, easy ones to get in the last 6 minutes.
So Bailey Dale, who's one of the big improvers, steps to the plate, 45-metre kick, and he's kicked it a little left, but comes back, lets it go. So he likes it. And McRae now coming off the ground, 33 to 142 in favour of the Dogs on the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, they're just too slick, aren't they, the Dogs? We're seeing a very good outfit here. granted, they're playing against probably a side that's going to finish bottom or second bottom. Their midfield, I think, rivals West Coast for the best in the competition right now. West Coast didn't have Elliot Yeo or Luke Shuey last week to contend with. Nat Newey was awesome last week, but right now they're putting together the best midfield in the competition. Their back flankers in Williams and Bailey Dale. I agree with you, Joe. There's not too many sides that are going to be better than them this year, and Josh Bruce is just filling in a final piece of the puzzle, because you went into this year thinking, okay, who's going to kick their goals outside Norton, because, you know, it was trouble last year. They got enough inside forward 50, but now they certainly have some options forward.
The Bruce chant going around Marvel.
Just how Howie, Bulldogs' greatest winning margin ever is 120 points. That was back in 1985 against the Demons. Margin 109 as we speak.
Kicked 16 of the last 17 goals in this match. It's hard to fathom. Cunnington towards Larkey. One of those days, got hands on it, didn't stick. The former Melbourne star, Alex Keith, the Duray, won a couple of flags with the Hawks. Down to Cunnington, Liberatore runs him down. Still they go through Simpkin, the Kangaroos. Stevenson, first quarter specialist as far as kicking goals go. He did that today. Going to have to hook this one around the body. Skillful player, I reckon he'll kick it from 20, tight angle, out of side. 142 to 33, 16 of the last 17 goals have been kicked by the Bulldogs. Josh Bruce has kicked 8. He's still on the ground. Stevenson hooking around the body. Looks like he's made a pretty good fist of it. Very good fist. Some late joy for the devastated Roos fans. Big Jado has got a couple. And that narrows it to a 103-point margin on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
What positives do they take out of this, Joe? We spoke to David Noble before the game, and he was upbeat, and he knows he's got a young side, but nobody wants to be beaten by 100 plus. I mean, they're soul-destroying wins, whether you're a good side or whether you're a young side, and you don't want too many of these ingrained in you over the course of the season to become normal.
Yeah, and there's two worrying signs for me. One was their pressure was really good for about the first 15 minutes, but they just weren't able to sustain it for anywhere long enough. And the second thing is, when you look at their side, they're only missing 4 of their best players. Really, it's not a team decimated. Luke McDonald, a good player. Robbie Tarrant's a good player. And Trent Jamont and Aiden Core have come to the club, but that's really it. So there's going to be some real heartache this year, because they just can't sustain their effort for long periods of time.
Their 3 losses collectively in excess of 200 points so far. Daniel to Bonampelli. Bonampelli, an invigorating run. Delivery to Norton, fast approaching out the back door. Spills, was that McNeil? No, Scott kicks the goal for the Dogs. And it's back out to 108 points. The lead for the Dogs. And Scott gets... Was it Scott? Yes, it's his first goal. So Scott kicks his first career goal, as he missed the other one. Just seeing that on the Harvey Norman replay. Purchased with 60 months interest free at Harvey Norman. Receive a bonus gift card. Conditions apply. The players were late to get to him. That's why I was wondering, Nath.
10th goal scorer tonight. You don't often see in a game of football 10 goal scorers. It was a highlight many years ago, but 22 goals tonight. That's a pretty big score from the Western Bulldogs, and they just continue to get better and better.
Clearance number 11 for Liberatore out of that centre bounce as well.
Gee, man, the last time a team passed 150.
Come back to you shortly, Howie.
Thank you, Chewy. 148 to 39, so she's a 109-point margin. Ooh. We all came today thinking it was a tough road for North, but maybe not this tough, Joey.
No, you shouldn't get beaten by 100 points, no matter how bad you are.
Trelaw off the ground. He's got a couple. Hunter comes out to meet it. Falls nicely now to the running McNeil. Goes all the way, and Norton's got it. In the goal square, but he's on an angle. Big Norto. He's kicked a couple, hasn't he, Chew?
Yeah, he has. And last time a team cracked 150, Howie, round 17, 2019, Crows against the Gold Coast Suns.
Gee whiz. I know. Now the mighty have fallen there. So Norton for his third to bring up 150. Oh, hits the post. They go to 149 to 39. 110-point margin. Big Aaron can't believe that. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Here's the best, Brian Taylor.
Look at that. 4 Dogs standing up. Can't wait to get back on the ground in the last couple of minutes. Not one North Melbourne player at this stage is stamped urgent to get back on. Walker for North on half back. Kicks it down the line right in front of that North Melbourne bench. Larkey. Good mark. No real runners. Looks inside. Not much there either. Thomas is there, but it was a difficult kick to make. So Larkey now kicks down the line, looking for Stevenson. He won't get it done in the air. Eastonwood was there applying the tackle. Libba with fast hands to Treloar. Sneaky handball over the top to Daniel. Almost set him up the old hospital job. Keith could have given it back to Daniel. He does now. He waits for Daniel to get composed. Gives it on the run of Bailey Smith. Exciting Dogs play. They've been that. Bruce is going to take the mark. Bruce is marked in the pocket and will line up to goal number 9. It's on his favoured left side. He's marked at 2.5 metres inside the boundary line. So he'll definitely face the middle of the ground and run around on the left with a hooking banana ball.
He's good at this part of the game, the snap across the body.
Takes his time. Professionally, he got this sorted out, as Nate just alluded to. Knows exactly what he's doing, exactly what he wants to accomplish. For goal number 9, got it! Got 9. He says, I'm just the god of this game today, as he sort of puts the arms out on the Easter weekend.
Bruce Almighty.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Oh, Joey, nice.
155.39 on the Beacon Trade scoreboard. Bruce has 9.
I reckon you're entitled to put your arms out like the Almighty, like he did on that occasion, Joey. When you've kicked 9, it has been a display. I mean, the Bulldogs have had the ball mainly in their forward half of the ground. They've kicked 23 goals, but you've still got to get on the end of them. You've still got to work hard. You've still got to present up, and you've still got to finish it off the way Josh Bruce has. So it's probably not the hardest game he's ever played, but he has done what he needed to do as a forward.
And Howie, this is the time now with 2 minutes to go where you do just go all out looking for Bruce. You are allowed now to just go where you wouldn't normally go to try and get Bruce's 10. They've cleared the 50.
And Simon Beasley, he was the last Bulldogs player to kick 9 majors in the game, 1988.
Well, Joey, I've been calling for this since the 10-minute mark. I do like to see a bag. Free kick in the middle. Oh, it's going to go the way of the Dogs.
28,483 in a day.
Thank you, Brian. So it's all about Brucey getting the double figures now. McRae by hand. Williams. Bruce leads to the pocket. He's got a couple to beat. He might just... Oh! Joshy Bruce gets rid of a couple of Kangas, and the big boy's going to line up for a double figure arrangement. Oh, Bevo's got a smile on his face. He's trying not to smile, our man Joshy Bruce, but he's bursting inside. That was a good grab.
It was a good grab. He really worked hard for that. He had to duck under and then duck back and then jump over the top of a couple of players. One of those was Zeeble trying to get back with the ball. But this is the hard part, I reckon. I like him around the body, but it'd be great to see a tenner.
Josh Bruce from 30 out directly in front. Trots in. Oh, he's kicked it. It's a double figure operation for Joshy Bruce. The Dogs come from everywhere. Good Friday at the footy, and Josh Bruce has kicked 10. I don't know if there's a blue or a celebration, but she's all happening, as Bill Laurie would say.
Well, I reckon the Kangas are thinking the Dogs are taking the piss at the moment, and I think they've got a little bit upset about that. And I agree. It's not a dog party. And they would just be a little put off by the behaviour at the moment of the celebrations.
Well, when you're 122 points up, Ryan, you can probably afford to.
Bailey Smith watch Bailey Smith come by here.
You must have some modesty even in winning.
Got into Jack Zeeble's grill when he got outmarked on that occasion, and that's what sparked it. But he's taken 9 marks inside 50, Josh Bruce. The Kangaroos have taken 9 themselves.
Yeah, it was Jai Simpkin that took issue to Bailey Smith, just getting a bit lippy and getting in Zeeble's face, as you said, and he stood his ground.
Seeing that on the Harvey Norman Roy play. They've kicked 9 goals in the quarter as well. Here are the Dogs, and here they go again. Treloar bouncing out of the middle with 1 minute and 2 to go. Looking for Van der Meer, didn't get there. Picked up by Atley, caught with the footy, gave it to Walker, spun it out. They're under constant pressure. They're looking for the 10th goal of the quarter here. It's going to be coughed up. McRae got it on to Libba. Here they go again, searching back inside to Norton. Got it on the half volley, grabbed the little handball. I'm not sure he really wanted to give it, but he did in the end. And they'll have a ball up at their attacking 50 end here. The Western Bulldogs with 35 seconds remaining. A ball up 20 metres out from their goal. And they lead by 122.
122, and Josh Bruce has kicked 10 goals too. Straight out of the ruck contest, they're trying to get it to Josh again. Chalor with a hooking ball. Norton's underneath it, so's English out the back of the pack. Off the ground, it's just so easy. Somehow they've missed it from the goal square. Umpire's called it back. Going the way of the Dogs. Going out to Tim English. With 25 seconds on the clock.
For the 10th of the quarter.
For the 10th of the quarter. Somehow, it's going to be hard to manufacture this to Josh Bruce, who's 40 metres away. Big Timmy, he's had a day and a half as well. There is another one. 10 for the quarter for the Western Bulldogs. They're on 167. 167. 25-17, 167 to 5-9-39-2. There's some records being broken here this afternoon.
Well, this will be the Bulldogs' greatest winning margin ever at 128 points.
And where does it fit in the league? 128.
Yeah, well, come back to you shortly, BT. But it's also the Bulldogs' highest score ever against the Kangaroos at 25-17, 167. Previously, it was 164 back in 84.
So 128-point lead. This is...
Is this the Kangaroos' lowest moment?
Yeah, well, gee, you're thinking now, aren't you? And you're going, have they bottomed out? That 128-point loss 3 rounds into the season? I don't think so. Back to the middle we go. There's only a quarter of a minute remaining, so this is going to be just about it. They've kicked 10 in the quarter. Bruce has kicked 10. They've won by 128 points. It's history books, everyone reaching for them, including Ash here at the moment. Davey Zuniak got it out of the middle, searching ball deep, 5 seconds and counting here. Off hands it comes. There'll be no further score, I don't reckon. Siren sounds. And the Kangaroos have done the most incredible demolition job. Sorry, the Bulldogs have done the most incredible demolition job on the Kangaroos and won by 128 points.
Points the Dogs at quarter time, 38 at the half. Joshy Bruce went into the major break with 4. 74 at 3-quarter time, he had 6. He snapped with 3 in the last term, the big boy. That's a 128-point win. We'll hear the interviews in a moment, but Nath, Joey, initially your thoughts on what we've seen here?
Just having a look at the Bulldogs' percentage, Ash. Tell me how much the Bulldogs' percentage has gone up in one game.
Well, it went up 65%. There's 116 coming into today's game. They're now at 181.6. They're on top of the table, ahead of Port Adelaide. Of course, they have a game in hand. They're at 181.5.
Yeah, never thought we'd see 25 goals kicked in a game if you were watching footy last year, but they were dominant. But really, the concern is for the Kangaroos. As BT said, it's only round 3. How are they going to get themselves up for the rest of the season? It's going to be a massive task for David Noble already. When he signed up for the job, I'm not sure he was expecting to have to deal with this. It's going to be a big, big issue. A massive game next week now against the Adelaide Crows. They have to at least be competitive because otherwise you can't see how they could possibly get a win at the moment the way they're playing. But that's another story. But today it's about the Western Bulldogs and about Josh Bruce. Great to see him. Had a horrible year last year. He admits that by his own standards, but 10 goals today, we didn't think we'd see that either in a long time.
Well, I must admit, I thought he might struggle this year going in what I saw last year, but then talking about how big a pre-season he's had, and first game he took 11 marks, probably didn't get on the scoreboard like he would have liked, but he certainly filled his boots today.
Chalor and Stevenson having a chat. And we'll take a quick break here. We'll bring you all the interviews, the wrap. What was that margin, Chew?
128 points to the Bulldogs, a record for them.
Another game coming up after this on the M's, Chew?
We do. Adelaide taking the Suns at the Adelaide Oval.
All right, Brian Taylor will be sticking around to give you the full wrap of this one. Pick up a $2 McFlurry at Macca's Loose Change menu as part of your Friday night footy feed at the Macca's. It's a destroyation. McDonald's and Remod Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
There's no doubting Triple M is the home of the Foo Fighters. And if you hang around long enough, eventually you get your very own show. Foo Fighters Radio. Every Friday night, the Foo Fighters take over Triple M. They've each handcrafted their own full radio shows. This week, Fooey's newest member, Rami Jaffe, with a collection of songs by bands that added new members late in their careers. Foo Fighters Radio. Tonight, after the footy.
On Triple M. When you go with CMI Hino, you go with Melbourne's home of Hino trucks.
At CMI Hino, we provide real service. We're open till midnight every weekday so you can get your truck serviced and not miss an hour's work. And if you need a loan car, we can provide one for you too. Factory trained technicians, cap price service programs, real service. That's the CMI Hino promise.
CMI Hino, Melbourne's home of Hino trucks.
Since when did beer move in and take up all our fridge space? I think I don't like beer anymore. There's beers with the footy and the back deck and barbecue. What am I still drinking beer for? With Canadian Club refreshments at an all-time high, just pour me a CC and dry.
Over beer, Canadian Club.
Telstra's making footy more affordable with $10 off KO Basic.
That is awesome.
Yep, $10 off.
Inspirational. This is massive.
That's right, $10 off.
That's off the scale.
Stream the 2021 Toyota AFL Premiership season with KO Basic for just $15 a month for 12 months. For Telstra consumer customers, redeemed by 31 May 2021. Roll under standard fees after 12 months. Minimum cost $15 for 1 month minimum term.
G'day, Billy Brownless here. Geelong footy fans, if you want to get behind the Cats next time they play in Melbourne, get there in style with one of Port Phillip Ferry's new game day ferry services. Forget about packed trains or parking. Grab your mates and jump on board the Geelong Flyer, taking you straight from Geelong to Docklands. There's a bar, so you can have a couple of frothies on the way there and on the way home. Going to the footy in Melbourne from Geelong, it's better by boat. Head to portphillipferries.com.au for more info.
There's still plenty of time left in the Easter long weekend to finally tackle that DIY job you've been putting off at your place and join Australia's biggest ever DIY working bee. And everything you need for the job is at Bunnings Warehouse. I bet you can taste that snag and onions already.
The hunt is on. This Easter, shop loads of exciting offers at Sexyland. For her, 15% off buzzing rabbits and eggs. For him, 15% off Crazy Ball male toys. Couples games at 20% off and Shiatsu body care. Buy one, get one free. Plus loads more Easter treats to hunt out in store and online. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong, or get 2-hour delivery at sexyland.com.au.
At Coles, we've got thousands of click and collect and delivery windows to help make your Easter easier. Have your shop delivered straight to your door or collect your order in-store or delivered to your car boot. Shop online at coles.com.au. Coles, value the Australian way. T's and C's apply.
Triple M rocks footy.
The Triple M Footy Review. Amy.
Who covers clangers? Amy does.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Bulldogs do and do what it said. Bulldogs fight and Bulldogs rock. We give the very best, which is now be the boys of the Bulldog Red, protect the mighty West.
Extraordinary game of footy. Not good for the Roo boys. 25-17, 167. The Roos 5-9-39. The Dogs by 128 points. Josh Bruce kicked 9 goals. Joey, Nate, I'm not sure what to say.
10 goals.
10 goals, sorry.
Yeah, got his 10th.
Got his 10th, you're right.
Yeah, it's hard to know what to say. I mean, the Dogs were awesome, and they are a juggernaut at the moment. They are playing red-hot footy, as we said earlier in the game. They're up there with Port Adelaide and Richmond, I think, is the...
Okay, Sean Burgoyne.
It has been an issue, though, their scoring, but we know they're an offensive threat, the way they get so much ball through that midfield, and they do get a lot of entries, Brownie. But tonight they were able to capitalise on that, and I mean, the Kangaroos are pretty short down there. Jack Zeeble was fighting out of his weight division. They had to move Lockie Young out of the back half. He wasn't getting it done early. Mackay had his hands full against Bruce. So the Dogs just had their way, but the story is the Kangaroos and where they're at right now as a football club, because it is at a very low ebb.
And I feel a bit sorry for the players too. I mean, they're going to cop it and it's going to be a hard week for them. All the papers are going to be, how bad are North Melbourne? And you want to go away and hide. Like, everybody's been on the end of a pretty bad drubbing, and all you want to do is bury your head. But there's some question marks got to be asked to how it got to this point for those players to be in that situation. But full credit to the Dogs today. Josh Bruce kicks 10, and Brian, you've kicked 10 in your career as well. So it's an amazing effort.
Oh, nothing from Brian. Oh, where's he gone?
Where is he?
Oh, he's departed, has he? Okay. Amy, who covers Clangers? Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. I reckon you've got the Triple M MVP award, the award the players want to win. There's a pig in the back of the box somewhere. What was that you did?
Laughing at his own humour.
What are you thinking there, Joey? If you don't give it to the man that kicked 10, I'll be very disappointed.
You're spot on, Howie. I think Bruce might get 3, but I gave 1 vote to Josh Dunkley. I thought his game from start to finish was excellent. Not only getting 33 touches, he does a lot of the hard, dirty stuff. He smothers, dives on footies, lays tackles. His pressure was enormous. He also kicked 1 goal too, so I gave Dunkley 1 vote. 2 votes to Adam Treloar, particularly through the middle part of the game when the Bulldogs really broke it open. He kicked 3 goals to go with his 27 disposals. He is just a bit of cream on top of this side already with the midfielders they have. He just breaks out of stoppage, used the ball really well tonight, so he got 2 votes. And, of course, Joshy Bruce with his 10 goals got the 3 votes.
Well done, boys. Great call as always. The Suns versus the Adelaide Crows is where you're going next on Triple M Football. We'll see you all over the weekend. Extraordinary game. The Bulldogs win it by 128 points. Josh Bruce, he went mad and kicked 10. We'll go to Adelaide next. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Stay safe on the roads this Easter as well. Triple M Rocks Footy.